welcome to the Spotcast episode 5. Can you believe we've already done 5 episodes?
Like, yeah, that's kind of surprising,
dude. It's crazy, dude. We do it every 2 weeks. That's 10 weeks of episodes. That is insane. Right? Absolutely insane. As you can see, though, we are homie down today. Zakeda wasn't really feeling up to it, so he's going to be here in spirit, though. His spirit is with us, watching us from above or below. Who can say? But he'll be producing, he'll be in the chat, and all that good stuff. So, but I am joined today by my other co-host, Kainitsu. How's it going, man?
It's going all right, dude. How about yourself?
Dude, it is hot. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about blizzards and snow and ice. It was like in the high 70s here and fucking humid. Like, my AC is working overtime to keep it 65 degrees in here.
Got to keep it in Arctic temperatures.
Dude, I can only imagine what your window units are going through.
Actually, it's been pretty comfortable. Like, today has been the coolest day on the past week. But it was like getting up to the 70s. I'm in shorts right now. Even though wearing a jacket.
Is that a jacket and you're in shorts?
Yeah.
See, I oftentimes think about like wearing my pajama pants when we do the show, but then I just know that like I'll have to stand up for something. And
nobody can see my jammies. I don't want to see some jammies.
Yeah, some Jack Skellington jammies. I got some Pokemon jammies. I got a classic plaid too. I'm a classic plaid guy. So
yeah, that's usually what I go with for the most part. Just a plaid, simple.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the shorts and jacket combo is kind of sociopath behavior, though. I gotta say, it's. Do you like go outside like that?
Like if I'm just walking around.
Yeah, you just go walk outside, shorts and a jacket.
Yeah, just take my dog out for a moment. It's
okay. That's
it depends on the temperature too. Like, if it's closer to like 50s or something like that.
Yeah.
Then I could still want to have like a jacket, but I'm fine with shorts. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. But yeah,
fun fact about me, I never wear shorts unless I'm at the gym.
Really?
I wear gym shorts, yeah. Or I guess swimming too, but yeah, just out and about, it's always jeans. Always.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always. Yeah, put that in the lore.
Always got that denim on.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, I got a really cool coffee pot just in time for the heat, so I've been drinking a lot of coffee just in time for the heat. Dude, this thing was $300. It's awesome. I'm not gonna plug it here. Dude, it's sick. It's a really... Dude, I found out that's actually like mid-ranged for a coffee pot. They have $800 coffee. It's fucking insane.
I have another friend that's like really, really into coffee. He's like, dude, I got myself an espresso machine recently. I'm like, dude, what the... All right, Mr. Bougie.
Dude, I want to be that guy. Like, I want to be the guy with the goddamn alchemy lab of coffee. I just don't have... I don't have the time.
I want to be my own barista.
Yeah, dude, I want to be in there with a fucking mortar and pestle.
Grinding my own beans,
mortar and pestle. Yeah, grinding my own shit. Like, and
artisan shit here.
Artisanal coffees. I want to be that guy. But more than anything, I actually want to hire a guy like that to live in my house. Because I don't have time.
Make coffee, bro.
Yeah.
I don't have the time, but you make coffee.
Okay, and read my mail because I hate reading mail. Dude, I will let my mail stack up probably a month in my mailbox before reading it. If anyone sends me anything, don't do it by mail. I won't read that shit. So.
Yeah, I don't check my mail too often. It just honestly just kind of piles up. To be honest.
I mean, all my shit's digital now. Like my bills. I mean, if you correspond to me, it better be. So about once a month, maybe twice a month, I'll go out there, mosey on out to the mailbox and, see what's up in the mailbox. And it's never anything. It's always fucking coupons and ads and credit card offers. Because, so.
A bunch of junk mail. I got you.
A bunch of junk mail, dude. This should be illegal to send junk mail, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, anything else going on with you? Yeah. Oh, actually, I was gonna ask you, when's your second video coming out?
Oh, dude,
I've been waiting. I've been waiting for that comment section.
I know,
dude. I've been
slowly working on it. It's due to some complications. It's taking me way longer to finish this, but as soon as it's out, you'll definitely be one of the first people to know.
Absolutely, man. I'm telling y'all, if even if you have no interest in Final Fantasy VII, just go read that comment section. Just go click on it and just read it. I do it sometimes. I'll just go on there and read it.
Yeah, that first video, man, or the one about remake.
Yeah,
it's a dumpster fire.
It's wild. I was scrolling through, and there's paragraphs. This one dude wrote.
Yeah, dude.
I counted 6 paragraphs.
Yeah,
that's a whole ass essay. That's a whole ass school project, bro.
Right?
Like, how the fuck? Like, okay, what kind of dude has that much time in his day where he's just gonna sit down and just do a whole ass school project on a comment section?
Someone who really cares that I don't like that game, apparently.
I can't even imagine being in that headspace or being that kind of guy. It's just, it's great though. It's great entertainment. Like I said, I go and just read that sometimes. Yeah.
It's just for me, it's just I'm just flabbergasted about how divisive it is. I'm like, damn, dude, like I didn't know it was like it's so bad to not like this game. Holy crap.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you'll have defenders in the chat too, and then they'll get dogpiled. Like they will decimate those guys.
Yeah, I mean the like and dislike ratio is like 71%. It's pretty rough.
Yeah. Well, man, it's just one of those. I mean, it's nothing to do with the quality of the video for sure. Yeah. It's one of those. If you did it about, Knights of the Old Republic, if you did it about a Mario game, like just any of these like major Elden Ring, yeah. I mean, people are gonna fucking just go lose their fucking mind because they can't fathom someone else not liking.
You can't like this game? What?
Yeah.
I actually have had people come in. It's like, hey, I'm only coming here to put a down vote. Fuck you. I'm out. I'm gonna watch the video. I'm like,
get fucked, asshole.
Like, man,
take that.
I don't like your opinion, and I didn't listen to it, but I don't like it. It's a thumbnail.
I wish that for like one moment, just one tiny, small, insignificant moment in my life, I could feel a modicum of like the self-reassurance that those guys feel the moment they hit the dislike button. Like when they hit it and they sit back and they do that, I've never felt that about anything in my life.
Right?
Ever. And it's just, yeah.
This might sound mean, but
uh-oh.
It's how stupid people feel.
I can see into your mind.
He felt that downvote, bro. I got him.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, it's just it's so unnecessary, but I mean, it is entertaining, and I've been having, like I said, if you guys, even if you have no interest in his thoughts on Final, just go read the comments. Like,
yeah, but if
great.
you have a fragile mind, or stuff like that, kind of will upset you. I advise against it.
Like, yeah, I mean, if you're easily like triggered, I guess don't do it. But
yeah, because I mean, it's a pretty rough comment section. I don't even know what the next one's gonna look like. Who knows? I gotta put it up though. But what's been going on with you, man?
I mean, working, playing games. I mean, we'll get into the games I've been playing. Like I said, making fine artisanal coffees. I mean, for real, dude. Last night when I got that coffee maker, I spent the whole night just like researching how to make fucking mochas and cappuccinos and all this stuff because I'm a big peppermint mocha guy.
Okay.
And I got some Death Wish coffee that I'm gonna make some peppermint coffee or peppermint mocha with. They comes with a frother too, so I can make cappuccinos, espressos, dude. It's nice. It's a nice little. Dude. Let me tell you, I upgraded from a $30 Mr. Coffee machine.
Oh, okay.
And all it does is make coffee. Like it just drips it into the pot. Right. So this is wild. It even has like a little fold down platform that heats, so you can just put a mug on it and it'll just fill straight into the mug. Okay. If you like K cups, it comes with an attachment for that. I don't fuck with that. Yeah, that's like.
I mean, those are like overpriced anyway. So
yeah, and they don't taste good, and it's just people who like K cups probably need to reevaluate their life choices. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much been my week for the most part. Trying to play Kingdom Come, which again we'll get into that, but unsuccessfully for the most part. But yeah, that's about it for me. If you got nothing else, I mean, we can move on to what we've been playing.
Yeah, we can move on.
All right, yeah. Well, go ahead. I'll let you start off because I'm really curious to hear about Tainted Grail. Is that the name?
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah. Okay.
last two games I've been playing here recently have been Ninja Gaiden Black or Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. That's been really fun because the original Ninja Gaidens that came out like I guess like 10 years now. Oh god, I'm old.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But Ninja Gaiden 2 I really enjoyed, but I don't remember it feeling as it does right now. It's also not even like based on that particular version. This is based on like the Sigma version, but it's tweaked of the Sigma version that they did with the remasters of that they've done like the re-releases. It's like the fourth time this game's been released. But it's been fun. It actually feels like more of a modern action game, which has been really nice to play and have that feel to it. I don't like its dodging system. I think that could be better because that like action games now, how you dodge is just completely different. Because you have to hold block and then use your directional. You want to go and jump and like it's a weird combination. And also it's like overly bloated as like a file size. It's 85 gigs.
Jesus. Did they do anything major to it, or is it just like an up-res? I mean,
yeah, so it's a remaster and a remake kind of. So like what they did was what something that Unreal Engine 5 has is like just like this whole like import assets thing that you can do. And it's just like bloated with all these just a shit ton of assets, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so big. I mean, it looks nice, but I'm getting over like 100 gigs for a game, 150 gigs for a game
for an old game at that. I mean, I was thinking maybe like uncompressed audio or something for the.
You want to know what the original Sigma size was?
Let me take a guess. What year did it come out?
So Sigma came out like in 2000, like 2010s. I want to say
13 gigs.
4,
dude.
4.
No, I okay. Listen, I'm not just saying this. 4 was my other guess. Like, and I'm not just saying this. I'm not just saying it. 4 was my other guess.
But that's pretty normal for games back at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun to see him play. But the other one I've been playing is again the one you're more interested in is the Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon has a subtitle.
Terrible name. Horrible
it's
name.
a really bad name.
Horrible name.
The Tainted Grail.
The Taint.
Continue. Yeah. So yeah, that could be better, but it's got some interesting lore. So it actually kind of like goes into the whole like tale of King Arthur and Camelot and stuff. So it has kind of like that establishment in there. But it's been pretty cool game. It's definitely heavily inspired by Elder Scrolls. I've only ever played Oblivion, and that wasn't until like last year. I've just never been an Elder Scrolls fan, but I really actually found myself liking Oblivion. I put like 130 hours in that game. Like it was a stupid amount. It's fun. Anyway, this game has a lot of that same feel to it. I showed you like a clip of me going and like sniping dudes with my fucking bow and arrow and shit, and it's like, you know, Oblivion, or I guess Skyrim with a slow-mo cam up close, because Oblivion didn't do that. But you know, you get dialogue trees and stuff, and there's actually been like a lot of fun writing. Like there's actually been a lot of really funny moments that's happened and stuff. It's very open world. Like I haven't even like touched the main quest. I've just been doing like exploring this one section, and I have like maybe 10 hours, and I still have probably a decent amount of game to go through. And it's in early access as well, so it's not even finished yet.
Okay. Let me ask you real quick. So you know how I am about RPGs. Right. When you say dialogue choices, do these actually matter? Are we talking choices, consequence? Are we talking like I don't like you, so I'm gonna kill you?
Okay, so choices is misleading. It's more like a dialogue tree.
Yeah. I mean, because Skyrim, I mean, like Oblivion had those, but not
many always. Yeah. Oblivion did actually have certain outcomes depending on your answers for certain things. But so far I haven't seen anything like that. Like you have a whole dialogue tree and you can go through all the answers and stuff. Like, and even sometimes it's like you ask something and it's like they're insulted by like you asking the question. But then it's just like, I'm going to talk about this now. Or sometimes a dialogue is kind of out of order if you're also kind of doing a quest with an NPC you just first came across. So there's that. I mean, so it's not perfect, but I mean,
Mm.
neither is fucking any Bethesda game.
No. I mean, yeah, Bethesda always like offered choice through action, right? Like you were
Right.
never. It was through like I'm going to be an Argonian who just lives in the rivers and hunts people who approach the shore, and just do
Right.
that type of thing. But you're not really doing any meaningful, because I mean you can do everything in the game in an
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls game, and that always bothered
Mhm.
me. I mean, as a kid, it was cool, but when you got a little older, it's like, man, why can't I like be the master of every guild?
Right.
And so it sounds like this game kind of has kind of the same vibe to it, where it's like you can kind of do everything like that. Or I mean,
It does say in like some of the loading screens, like you will be coming across factions, and if depending on who you want to side with or what to do quests for and all that, it will actually make a difference in the outcome.
okay,
Going
good,
through those.
good.
So I haven't experienced that yet. I've met 2 different, I guess, factions at this point,
Mm-hmm.
but only one person from one faction I've actually went to the establishment of another. So
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't quite gotten to that point, but I've had a
Okay.
lot of fun just exploring. I feel like the difficulty is a little odd. So I'm playing on normal. Like, I mean, I like card games, but if I have a choice, I'm not going to choose to make it more difficult for myself if I don't have to.
You like a little soft,
But I'm not gonna play it on easy either. I'm like, medium, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
or at least if you do, don't admit it to anyone. Just,
right?
keep that shit to yourself. Yeah.
Never admit you play on easy.
For real.
But yeah, no. The difficulty is a little skewed. I feel like sometimes. So like, it's off. So I don't think it scales with you like Oblivion does. Like that, Oblivion has like a hard scale. Like holy shit,
dude! Oblivion. Side tangent. Oblivion was wild. Like you would go into a cave, and the skeletons you fought before would have been respawned, except they were all wielding obsidian weapons and armor.
Right?
Like, they wouldn't just scale. They would be kitted out with Daedric shit. You're just like,
I got Daedric armor and everything, bitch. Come at me.
The fuck did you get this? Like I spent 80 hours trying to get this in the game, and
you leveled up.
Yeah,
so I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it has that going on. It's been kind of incremental, or maybe it is. I don't know. I need to look more into that. But like, there are times where I can fight things and enemies where I can kind of hold my own, especially now I have to have some decent gear.
Yeah.
But there's also plenty of times where it's like everything can one hit kill you. It feels like. But again, you can one hit kill people with headshots. So it's like.
Does that feel regional? Like this is like really a level 50 zone and this is a level 20 zone type situation.
I guess it is. I haven't really paid attention, to be honest, but I guess it's more regional, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because there have been other places I've gone to, but I've kind of just been like, well, I've already gone there. I need to go there again. And I don't know if they do anything with like how again, like Elder Scrolls or Oblivion and Skyrim works, like every 3 days, everything like reshuffles and respawns, and like like stuff you've looted before, like boxes and crates and shit, you can go load again. I don't know if they do that in this game, but they do it with enemies, but I don't think they do it with loot.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like it has very positive reviews on Steam, so that's good. Tell me about what makes this early access. Because my big beef, I tend to stay away from early access single player games because I want to play it when it's done. Right. So is the story incomplete? Is it,
I think, again, I don't know all of that. I think they're gonna have like kind of like chapters. They've got 2, and I'm assuming they're doing one more because they're it's at 0.7 in the version they're on right now, so they're almost done with the game. So I guess it's early access in that extent with the story. There is a bug I encountered, and it was a really bad bug because it saved. It saved in your save file if you saved with it. It was a texture thing. Like for whatever reason, like the textures on the hands of my character were just like completely stretched out, like forward to me. Like it looked like it was trying to grab something, and I walked for like a good 5 minutes just to see if like it was being hung up on anything. Like no, it was just stretching out to a certain point. And then it just was like that forever.
Okay.
And it was only in one direction. And if you saved with it, it saved it also was in the save, but luckily I had a save that was not too far before that, so I'm glad I had that because I would have been really pissed off.
Oh yeah. I learned a long time ago I quick save like every 30 seconds.
Yeah, and you kind of have to in this game, especially like game with those difficulty spikes, man. Like I'll kill like a dude or two. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna quick save.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna die on one hit.
Yeah, I clicked on their developer name to see what else they made, and I was reminded why this sounded familiar. They had another game called Tainted Grail. It's hard to actually say. Conquest. It's like a roguelike deck builder. Like RPG.
That's a vast.
Yeah. I mean, there's they have like 3D animations for everything. I remember seeing this game. I want to say this was like on my wish list at one point because I went through like a roguelike deck builder phase. That I periodically go back through again because I just get a hankering for it. So I go play all the good ones like Slay the Spire and Monster Train and Balatro now and stuff like that. But apparently, this is one. Apparently they're making that RPG, I guess, in their deck builder universe. It definitely has the same art style. Like it definitely looks like something that similar to the screenshots of this. Okay. It looks like they also made a game called Nemesis Lockdown. What is this? This looks like a craft, hide, and fight, threat-filled corridors. Okay, so is that isometric? No? This one looks kind of odd. It looks isometric. Yeah, I guess it is isometric. So it looks like it's kind of an isometric survival game. So they have a pretty wide breadth of things that they make, it looks like. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye out on this one. Honestly, I mean, I'll probably stay away from it until it's 1.0 because I had kept my hands off Baldur's Gate for years because so it's nothing against the game. It's just I want to play it when it's done,
Right.
At least like content and story. I don't want to get to a point where it's like you enter a cave and it's like, oh, this cave is empty because they haven't put the thing inside it yet, and it's like that the moment the moment that, well, that's why I stopped playing Pal World when it came out. I got to that first cave where they didn't put anything in it, but they had a few little dudes in it, and you could tell this was a staging area for a boss fight, and there's nothing in it, and I was like, I can't do this because I want to explore, and it's like, give me content complete, but but you can have features and stuff you add, but I don't want to feel like if I explore here, I may find nothing because it's not there yet. And then if I explore there in 3 months, I will find something because you put it in there. So, was there anything else of note that you wanted to say about this one? Or
if you like Elder Scrolls games and you're tired of waiting for Elder Scrolls 6, or you're not too interested in Avowed, check this out. I think you would actually like it.
Yeah, how's it run? How's it run?
For the most part, other than that one bug I told you about, runs pretty well. There are sometimes you can get stuck in some geometry depending on what you're doing, but there is like an option to unstuck yourself or unstick yourself, I guess. So there's that, but there's a fix for it.
Okay, let's see. Let me see the system specs here. It's not too bad. 2070 Super's recommended, so okay. And the good old 1060 is minimum, so.
Oh, nice.
Dude, that 1060 is what we talked about it a lot during our graphics card episode. But that 1060, man, it really carried a whole generation of PC gaming there for a while.
Oh, like a generation and a half, dude. Like the 10K series or 1000 series series. It was a really, really good card. Like I had a 1070 for like ever. I didn't even get anything from the 2K series. I upgraded from a 1070 to a 3070 Ti.
Yeah.
So that was a big jump.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty. Were you playing anything else, or was that it for you?
No, that's all I've been dabbling here lately.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, the biggest thing and the newest thing is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I haven't really been able to play nearly as much of it as I want due to work and artisanal coffee making, but it's really cut into my hobbies. But what I have played is great. I mean, it runs well, runs really well actually. I have a beast of a PC, but I mean, even then, I
Mhm.
mean, all the settings. I mean, it doesn't have ray tracing or anything, um, but it runs really well. It's really pretty. I mean, some of the animations are a little low budgety, but the voice acting's good. The story, I mean, the characters are immediately kind of likable. I didn't play the first one. I tried to play the first one a couple of times before this one came out, and it was just too janky.
Mhm.
Like the combat felt really, really bad. I really, floaty and weird. And then the quests, I had a quest break pretty quickly, and I just out. So what I did, I went and watched like a 40-minute plot synopsis on the first one just to make sure I got all my lore in. And it looks like this one. I mean, this one's feels like a lot like that one, but they fixed it and made it a lot more polished.
Nice.
I was looking through the clothing and the armor and stuff, and there's 18 layers or some crazy shit of things you can
Jeez.
wear. Yeah, well, because that's just how they wore clothes back in the day. I mean, you have like your undergarments, you have like the layer, then you have like the
Mhm.
coiffs, then the armor, and then headgear, and you got to wear a coif with your helmet or it'll hurt your head.
Oh, wow.
And all the armor has different stats, and it does different stuff socially as well. So if you're wearing ripped peasant armor or clothes, rather, you won't, obviously nobles and stuff won't really be persuaded by you, but a common
Mhm.
person might, or you might be less likely to notice and blend in more because you just look like a peasant. Whereas if you wear something nobly and flamboyant, the noble class and rich people, uppity people,
Mhm.
will talk to you, but you'll stand out more if you're trying to blend in, if you're trying to do stealth or something, you're gonna get seen. So, so it's really cool in that way. I was looking through a lot of that, uh, and so it seems like there's like some uh, kind of like Deus Exy kind of immersive sim type stuff in it. So that's kind of cool. Again, I haven't really got to play it as much. There's a dog in it, and one of the classes is
Hell yeah.
Houndmaster. Yeah, he's a little pupper. His name is Mutt, which bothers me because
Aw.
give him a better name. I mean,
Right?
come on, don't call him Mutt, idiot.
He's a good boy. Don't give him that
Yeah,
name.
yeah, you don't get to name the dog, apparently,
Aw.
unfortunately, but that's so they can do voice acting and stuff, I guess, with it. But there is a class called the Houndmaster, and I will definitely be probably pursuing that because we love the puppers around here. So
That's right.
yeah, well, the very first quest, you're like at a camp, and you have an optional quest to find the dog food, and I'm like, this isn't optional. Optional.
It's gotta be fed.
I'm gonna abandon this whole kingdom to fucking ruin to get the dog some. Yeah, and so it turns into this like multi-stage quest to get the dog a sausage from the cook. So I had to go
Okay.
dude, I had to go play some dice to win a ring to trade for a fucking sausage.
What?
Yeah. Well, I couldn't persuade him to give me the sausage up front. So
Was this someone in your encampment?
yeah, he was in my camp.
No, fuck you, dude. Give me that sausage.
I
I'm not
know,
giving you a green. What
I
the
know.
fuck?
I know. I mean, we had limit. I mean, we were on the road and we were kind of running low on food. So, but I had to go. I went and I did what I had to do, man. I got a little mutt. I got him a little sausage. So,
Hell yeah.
we took care of him, and yeah, it's fun so far. Like I said, I haven't put nearly enough time in it. I've kind of explored around that camp area. The game starts off with a bang. It starts off with like a big battle, and so that's kind of cool.
Okay.
But it's great. I mean, what I have played of it's really, really polished and nice, and it seems to be getting really good reviews across the board. So
yeah, I was kind of surprised of like how well it's been doing with the reviews, just for the sheer fact that like it, just like the first one, it is not very kind when it comes to actually like letting you know about the mechanics and stuff. Like it lets you figure that shit on your own. Like it does not hold your hand at all.
yeah, well, I love shit like that, and I think a lot of people do love shit like that. I think the game industry somewhere along the way got convinced that people don't love shit like that. I mean, you do have a
Yeah.
contingent of people that they'd rather have it tutorialized and explained to them, and find it intimidating. But I think a lot of people, I mean, Baldur's Gate's pretty unforgiving. Elden Ring, like all the biggest games of the last probably 3 years have all been just crazy difficult in a lot of ways. So I think that hopefully we move. It's not about difficulty to me. It's kind of about obscurity a bit because I like figuring that stuff out. But
Yeah, and it's depth and a lot of, like you said, a lot of people like that kind of stuff. Would it makes sense because I mean, if you respect your your customer's intelligence,
Yeah,
like
people will figure it out.
Yeah, I'm not against tutorials either. It just depends on like how the game is. Like if it's one of those games where it's pretty intuitive to kind of learn about or figure things out, and you don't need the tutorial, sure, that's fine. I don't mind. But if it's something that like you need to know, okay,
Yeah.
I'm fine with you doing a tutorial. And then there's also like different ways you can do the tutorial. There's a whole like, oh hey, just read this instructions. There you go. Now go do it. Or you actually have the option like you're doing it through gameplay as a tutorial. Like it just there's different ways to handle it.
Yeah, my favorite way to handle it, and it's the way Baldur's Gate kind of handles it, is we need to do this thing. You just know you need to do this thing, and then it's up to you to go figure it out of how to do it. Like you just stumble your way to it, and like a lot of crazy shit happens along the way. And,
right.
And yeah, so this game seems to have that. I can't speak to it on it like too much because I haven't seen how a lot of that plays out. But I've heard that it has a lot of that. Like you can tackle stuff in a lot of different ways. So I mean, yeah, I mean it's all real promising so far. I mean, so that's kind of my Oblivion style game that I've been playing. So
Hell yeah.
So I haven't really been doing too much else. I mean, just plucking around on shit on the Switch before bed, as usual. The people at the office, they all discovered Pokemon Scarlet, and they're all in Violet, and they're trying to get me to fucking buy it and play it with them and trade. I'm like, oh my god, no!
They want you to play those bad games.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst Pokemon game, man. Like, at least get into Sword and Shield or something. I mean,
right?
If you're gonna drag me into a Pokemon game, just
have better taste.
Yeah, Jesus. For real. Let's break out the DSs and play the Silver and Gold remakes. I mean,
hell yeah. Actually, I had the Alpha Sapphire on the 3DS.
Yeah, I had that one too. I played that one as well. I keep looking at the Diamond and Pearl remake because I just skipped, like, I kind of noped out of Pokemon right around Diamond and Pearl. My little brother, he liked those a lot. Those were his favorites, and there are a lot of, and I kind of noped back in a little bit around X and Y. I played that one. Noped out again. I kind of come and go. Every so often you get in the mood for a Pokemon game, and
that seems that people get that itch, like in another friend group. We all kind of like that, like years apart. Like, oh man, I kind of feel like playing a Pokemon game.
Yeah,
you're giving me a Pokemon game on 3DS.
You know what I feel like doing. I feel like get some of that Pokemon.
Get some of them Pokemon.
Some of Pokemon. Yeah, I get some of them balls and going out there and catch some of them Pokemon. Make them fight.
Make them fight. Not like dogs, but
it's exactly like that, like dogs. And then if you notice that like every Pokemon, like every main character in those games is fatherless. Like none of them have dads. Like they're all like it's always just the mom. Issues. Yeah, and then the professor's always like, "You need to go on this quest. You need to leave the house, and you need to go on quest. Don't worry.
10 years old. Don't worry. You can handle it.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna take care of your mama. I'm gonna take care of your mama. Don't you worry." You're like, "Can I call you dad?" And she's like, "Oh, your mama calls me daddy."
Only your mom could call me that, son. I'm calling you son, but you're not my son.
Yeah. Don't be coming to me for no Christmas gifts. I mean, that's basically. That's basically Pokemon the story. I mean, that's how those games go.
Just think of. Never mind. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna finish that thought. Anyway,
it must have been bad. It must have been really bad.
Yeah, let's submit that for my brain. Press delete. So.
Yeah, but no, it can be. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about diving into it with them because it can be fun when you have like your group of people like rolling side by side, catching shit, battling. I don't know if I have time for it or if I want to have time for it. I'm more interested in that new one coming to the Switch too.
So yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, and also it's like it's a bad game.
It's and they never patched it.
That makes it even hard, like even more. Like that's the saddest thing. Like fucking Pokemon, like do better. You guys have like billions of dollars.
Dude, like I said on the last episode, those games cost like $30 to make. Right? And they make billions of dollars. So there's no excuse. And they make it better.
It's like it's the same game. Like they've been making it a little bit different with some other things, and they had the open world game and shit, and that was like broken as fuck and looked awful. Like, holy shit! It's like, hey, we're just gonna still use this 3DS engine and this let's upscale it to 2K and it'll look real good. No, look real bad.
Yeah. No, it's really unacceptable at this point. And I bet you that this one gets a Switch 2 patch too. So
possibly. I mean, it makes sense because I mean
they got to make good on it. Well, I don't have to. I mean, it's the best-selling Pokemon game of all time, but they should make good on it. At least give people a Switch 2 patch so that there's like a playable version of this game.
Right.
So.
I don't see them leaving it behind. They're probably going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
All right, but yeah, man, that's been it for me in terms of everything I've been playing. Not too much. After the podcast, I'm going to go hit some more Kingdom Come Deliverance. So I'll probably have more to say on that on the next show. So for sure, I'll hopefully be really deep into it at that point. So,
nice.
Alrighty. So now I guess we'll move on to, we have a few kind of quicker news items of things that happened over the week to kind of tear into and talk about before we get into the kind of the main course, as it were, of the topics. So one of the first thing on the list is breaking news. Actually, there is currently a PSN outage. I don't know if they fixed it yet, but as of a few minutes ago, before starting the show, the whole network's down again. So
yeah, that's really super surprising.
Shout out to the PSN, always going down. Always going down. We'll get into more on the first topic, but definitely wanted to bring that to people's attention. If you've been trying to play Marvel Rivals or anything like that on the PlayStation Network, you'll probably not going to be able to for a while. Hopefully they get it back up.
Yeah, it looks like we have a down detector here of the graph. You can kind of see it there below us. There we go. Yeah,
we are professionals. We are getting live updates here.
Like around 6 p.m. that shit spiked super hard. Like it's gone down.
Yeah.
For people reporting the outage, but it looks like they're possibly fixing it. But holy crap, like that, like shit like this like never happens. I was wondering if they got hacked again. I was like, did you get hacked again? PlayStation, did you not learn?
No, I do feel like they have a major outage a year. I do feel like that. When I was primarily a PS4 gamer, which we'll get into later, I felt like that. Like once a year, they had a pretty bad outage. It would last a day and a half, something like that. Enough to fucking annoy the shit out of you. And there's that big one around the time that GTA 5 Online dropped as well.
Yeah.
So I think like that hacker group, like the lizard people, whatever the fuck their name was, they hacked them. So, but all right, yeah. But so we'll just make everyone aware of that. PSN is currently down. Hopefully it comes back up. So next on the list we have BioWare layoffs. Apparently they are down to 100 people or less.
Less than 100.
Less than 100. Okay. Less than 100. That's half, right? They like cut 50% of staff after Dragon Age. So kind of makes you wonder about Mass Effect, right?
I don't. They're not going to survive after this next game.
You think?
I don't think.
You don't think they're going to allow us? You don't think they're going to Commander Shepard's going to come back and guide us into the promised land like the sheep we are? Wow. Well, he's a shepherd.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't think so. It's gonna. I want it to be good. I want it to be good so they can still be a developer. I mean, obviously, it's not the same developer anymore. Like most people that made all the good games, all the games that people love are gone now. But it'd be so sad if they closed down because the Edmonton studios just made so many things that so many people have enjoyed throughout the years, and it'd just be sad to see it go.
Yeah, dude. BioWare was my favorite studio growing up. It was absolute. I mean, Knights of the Old Republic, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I mean, the telling sign to me is when they announced Baldur's Gate 3 and it was being made by Larian and not them, and I was happy. That was the telltale sign to me. Like, fuck, man, BioWare just because in any other situation, like if someone said we're gonna make Divinity 3 and it's not Larian, I'd be pissed. I'm not playing that shit. What the fuck are you talking about? And once upon a time, it would be the same thing with BioWare, but now it's just like, well, I mean, what have you done since Mass Effect 3? Nothing, really. Because the Mass Effect trilogy is phenomenal. It's one of the best. I think I count it as one game usually because it kind of is. I mean, what do you do if you just jump into Mass Effect 3? What the fuck are you doing? Go play the other two.
Right.
Why would you ever jump into it? And that's why they've never tried it again because it's hard to get that many people to keep buying the games through the whole trilogy, and it's hard to onboard new people. So yeah. I guess shout out to BioWare. RIP. Maybe RIP. We'll see.
Possibly. Hopefully they do well with Mass Effect. Let Mass Effect be good. Make Mass Effect good again.
No, I'm going to tell you why. It's the other piece of news tied to them I have here is EA on a earnings attributed the failure of Dragon Age Veilguard to the fact that it wasn't a live service game. So they said there weren't. Yeah, they said the reason it failed was because players are looking for shared world elements, is what they said, and it didn't have that, and so that's why, yeah. I'll give you a moment. I'll give you a moment. Kai, we broke him. We broke him.
Fucking brain. They're
shit. Oh man, here we go.
Stupid.
Here we go.
Dragon Age Veilguard failed, guys, because it wasn't a live service game. We didn't try to nickel and dime our audience, and that's why it fucking failed. They're so fucking stupid. I want to use a word that no one likes anymore because it feels really appropriate. Like how these people think. Like, holy shit, dude. It failed because it was a bad game. It had really bad writing. The combat was boring. It was just drove on, and it was super long, and it was just a bad game.
You broke me right back though. Like, goddamn. Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. Like I hope they just said that because they had to tell the shareholders something, and they don't actually believe that. But if they actually believe that, they are currently in the right now talking about quickly, guys. We have to put something in this game. We have to live service this game up.
Right? Like that gives me fear because they're like, well, it didn't work in this one. That was Mass Effect. Got to be a live service game now, too, guys. You got to make it a live service, or it's not going to work. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's just going to be an immediate fail. Like, just setting them up for failure, rather.
Yeah. Well, it's so weird because this Dragon Age game, was supposed to be where they learned a lesson about that shit because it was going to be a live service game, and they changed it because they're like, oh, well, we fucked up other games, Anthem and all this other shit by trying to do this. So let's not do that again.
Right.
And so I wonder if what they took from this was, well, maybe we should have, maybe we should have done the live service thing.
Yeah, it's like, well, they just proved our point. Like, why would we backtrack and make them do everything over? It should have been live service in the first place. It's like Warner Brothers, like saying like, oh well, Suicide Squad didn't fail because it was a live service game, and we're gonna double down on live service games again.
I'm glad you brought that up because our next item in the news list is apparently Rocksteady is making a Batman game again. So rumors, a single player Batman game, and they're also supposedly making another Game of Thrones game. Zero, buddy, goodness gracious.
Warner Brothers just doesn't know what the fuck they want to do because, like a few months ago, they were singing a different tune. Like, we're not gonna do single player games anymore. Nobody wants those. We're just gonna make free to play games. And they're like, oh no, wait, we should make a single player game. People liked Arkham games, right? Make a good Arkham game again.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, I'm all down for that.
Right.
I'm all down, but like at the same time, am I though? I mean, Suicide Squad was. It was bad. It was bad. It was, dude, I didn't even download it for free. Like when it was on the PS PlayStation Plus games. I don't even think I saved it. Like, where you can go and save it to your library, even if it wasn't even worth me doing that. I'm never going to play that fucking piece of shit. And especially knowing that, like, well, I won't spoil it in case anyone here actually wants to play it. But what they did in the end as well with the updates and stuff, I'm like, really, guys, like the one thing that you did kind of cool, you kind of didn't, so yeah, I didn't even bother.
Yeah, like you also got it for free on through Twitch, through Amazon Prime, a little while back too. I actually did pick it up just because I was morbidly curious, but I'm like, I don't know if I can ever bring myself to play it.
Yeah, no, I have zero interest. It's one of those games it's one of those like sacrilegious games to me too, where like you were the chosen one. You made some of the best Batman games that will ever exist, and you were supposed to bring it into the Sith and not join them type situations, and they joined the Sith and they made this really just shitty fucking game that nobody fucking liked.
Right.
It's shutting down. I mean, they liked it more than Concord.
But it lived longer than that game, but even still, dude, like it doesn't even really have much of a player base anyway. It's like maybe 1,000 people.
Well, it's dead now, right? Or is it dead now? Have they
no,
killed it yet?
No, it doesn't shut down. I'll actually be talking about that a little bit later on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, but for the Rocksteady making another Arkham game, like I'm for that. If it's gonna be a good like single player game, like they try to do it with the other, like what was it, Arkham Knights? That game wasn't that great either, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it a lot. I think it had its issues. I was a big defender of that game. I thought it, and I think people look back more fondly on it, given a lot of the shit that came next.
Yeah, after Suicide Squad, like, oh, that game was so bad.
I think it was a victim of how good the games were before it. I think that I think if Arkham Knight was the first Arkham game, it would be a 10 out of 10 success. People are like, well, this, and this, but everything else is phenomenal. So,
well, I think what hurt that game the most is that it wanted to have like the original, like the traditional, like kind of Arkham formula, but they focused on co-op before the formula. So there's like there was just like too much open space between enemies and stuff. So I think that's what really hurt it. But hopefully they can come back and make a good game and not get shut down. But again, it's Rocksteady's kind of like in the same boat with a lot of other developers, man. Like most of the people that made those really awesome Arkham games that we said like people loved, most of those people aren't there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're not the same studios. I mean, and it's sad, but at the same time, I mean, we have new ones coming up. We have Larian, we have From Software. Like we have all these like great studios now making shit. So I mean, CD Projekt Red's a funny one because it was one of those files, and then it went to be like the most hated, and now it's kind of back, and it's like so I don't know. We'll see what they do with The Witcher.
I feel like they still have a bad rep. Like the best thing I feel like CD Projekt Red's doing is GOG. like having game preservation, and what's great about GOG is it's DRM free gaming. So I think that's the best thing they're doing. I hope the new Witcher game is good.
I think it'll be great.
I'm looking forward more to that Dawn Walker Blood, whatever's that game looked really cool.
That looked, dude. And Vampire, dude. Listen. I love some vampires. Vampires are very on brand for me. So,
okay.
I love some vampires. Yes. It doesn't get any more edgelordy than that.
I'm a vampire per se.
Yeah. And one last bit of WB news. The new Wonder Woman game by the guys that made the Lord of the Rings games, the Shadow of Mordor, that's what they're called. That game is apparently busted over $100 million. And they're it's struggling, and it's in hell right now. So that one's apparently going to be a very Second.
I actually didn't hear everything you said.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No,
is my mic cutting out?
You're good now.
Okay. Yeah, let me just repeat the news bit. So basically, the new Wonder Woman game from the Shadow of Mordor guys is like way over budget and way under time. Yeah, it's at 100 million. It's over 100 million. Ooh. Nowhere close to being done.
Damn.
So yeah, it sounds like they basically took $100 million to get to pre-alpha. So
what?
Yeah. Yep.
Holy shit! Oh man, that makes me really sad because
that makes me really sad.
I mean, I'm laughing because, like what you said, like basically
you're laughing to keep from crying.
They spent that much money, but what makes me sad is that it's Monolith, not Monolith Soft, which is the Xenoblade guys.
Yeah.
But this is Monolith, which is they're been around for a long time. They made so many good games. They made the Boomer Shooter Blood, and they made a bunch of other shooters and really good games. Again, made the Shadow of Mordor games. So I hate to hear they're like in development hell with this game.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not gonna be like gonna be so over budget if it doesn't do well. It's like, oh well, Monolith's gotta be fucking gone now. Bye.
Yeah. It's supposed to have like the Nemesis system and stuff in it too, like seeing the proper return of that. Which, how do you put that in a Wonder Woman game? That might be why they're so over budget, because they don't know either. They're like, how do we put this in a Wonder Woman game?
Right. And again, I mean, it's a DC product. Like, you usually don't see people being decapitated and shit, and then like, oh hey, I'm gonna came back. And I'm kind of stronger now.
Yeah, that's rough. It's really rough. All right, so we'll do one more news item and go on to our proper topic, first topic of the show. So Forza Horizon got announced for PlayStation, but it's rumored that Fable is going to be day one on PlayStation 5, which would be fucking insane.
That's the Fable reboot, right?
Yeah.
That's insane because Fable is so synonymous with Microsoft and Xbox.
Oh yeah. Well, it's also rumored that Gears prequel is going to be day one as well, and the and the remaster collection. Like they're not even going to do exclusive windows. It looks like it's just going to be day one. It's so funny. I think the Master Chief, he might be the last holdout. He might be the only one still hanging out on Xbox all alone. Exclusive.
Well, isn't like the Master Chief collection supposed to be going to PS5?
There's no like definitive rumors about that one that I've seen. It's one of those, like, when asked about it, they're like, well, he won't not come. But like there haven't really been any like they're working on it. It's happening. But they probably are. I would actually venture to guess they probably have all these games ready to go for the most part. Every single Xbox game probably has a PlayStation version. They're just like, when do we release this that's gonna cause the least amount of violence in the streets?
Oh, the Xbox police go! The fanboys out there wreaking havoc.
Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. Again, like you said, they already have that all kind of like lined up and everything. As I've said before, there's gonna be a slow trickle into third party territory. Like, they're not gonna just pull a Sega and just like no more hardware. They're gonna slowly like build into this and like oh hey, we used to make consoles, but we have all the games now, guys. Get in your PS5 and your computers, and you get Xbox anywhere. So
they should hire you to do the voiceovers for the for the adverts. I think that would go well. That would go really well. Well, it's better than that like emotionless fucking robot woman they use for every fucking thing now. All the fucking like directs and stuff. Come play Mario and his friends on the Sunshine Island. Like it's so bad. It's so bad. Like nobody talks like this. But
yeah, that's also has to do a lot with like voiceover direction. I'm not going to blame the voice actor. It's probably the direction that she was given.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's whoever put it together and did it all. Yeah, I mean, she showed up and earned her paycheck.
Hey, she got money, so she got paid.
Yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to her. How much do you think someone gets paid to be that? How much do you get paid to be the Nintendo voiceover lady, who with the monotone, emotionless, and it's so funny too when it's like a violent game that they're advertising, like kill demons and decapitate them and bleed them out on Nintendo Switch with Mario and friends.
It's like giving bad news with a happy tone. Hey, you know what happened today, guys? I ran over my dog. It was such a horrible day. And then I went and I tripped over myself and I landed on my face. That's why I have all these bandages all over my face. But it was such a horrible day. Like, that does not match like what's going on in your life.
Man, that's not the dog. All right, so that completes our news segment, our CNN segment, or whatever news source you want to.
Yeah, it's our rapid fire.
Yeah. Rapid fire news.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah, and so I guess we'll get on to our first topic of the first, big meaty topic, and so this one's mine, and I thought since the first episode we talked about Xbox and kind of where they're at, and then every episode because of Cicada we've talked about Nintendo and where they're at. I thought we would talk about PlayStation and where they're at and kind of how we feel about, this generation of PS5, where we think it's kind of going, what we're happy with, what we're underwhelmed with. All that good stuff. And so it's kind of fitting that today of all days, they chose to have a PSN outage again. And,
it was written in the stars.
It was written, so shall it be done.
So shall it be told.
Yeah, so I mean, so I saw in the news the other day actually that they're actually beating Xbox 5-1 in console sales, which is just absolutely insane. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they're definitely, regardless of what we say here, or what you could say, they're definitely very successful. They've really killed it. They're kind of, the golden child of the console space right now. And before we get going, really, you have a PlayStation, don't you? PS5?
Yeah, I have a PS5.
Do you play on it often, or you more of a PC?
No,
you don't touch it
on my computer.
Yeah. So is it just basically your exclusive box?
Yeah, essentially.
Basically, yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with it, and I guess that's the first bit that I find kind of, because I kind of find, I guess I'll give my high level thoughts and we can kind of dig down into it. I do find like this generation, specifically of PlayStation, Xbox is a train wreck. Nintendo's running out of steam until the 2 comes out, so it's kind of on pause this whole generation, and PlayStation's just been kind of like fumbling the ball yet succeeding greatly. Like they've been
falling upwards,
failing upwards. Like they've been the luckiest dude in the room, because like they're looking around at all this failure and they're like, how the fuck? Oh my god. So they're exclusive. They haven't really launched, because the PS4 generation, I was primarily a PS4 guy. It was my first PlayStation, but it was also when I didn't like make as much money at the time as I do now, and so like I could really only afford a console at the time. I had a decent PC. It was one of them 1060 6 gigabyte PCs. Yeah. And so I was really all in on the PS4. I bought it begrudgingly because I was an Xbox guy, and I've never walked out of a store with a console with sadness in my heart like the day I did with the PS4. Dude, I was not happy when I bought my PS4.
So what made you buy it? Bloodborne?
No. Well, I gotta have a new I think my first game was Assassin's Creed 4. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got Assassin's Creed 4. It was the launch game I got, because I didn't really give a fuck about Killzone because I was a Halo guy. Mm-hmm. And they didn't really have much in the way of launch titles for the PS4. I remember the PS4 store was like a launch store, and so it was empty. Like it was fucking empty. I would go in there weekly to see if they added a new game to the store, because you could tell when they did, because there was like 16 games on it. It was wild.
Oh wow.
Because they didn't do any backwards compatibility with the PS3. So the only thing on the store was PS4 games, and there was only like 16 launch PS4 games. But over the generation, they came out with all the shit they're known for now: Horizon, the reboot God of War, Last of Us 2, the Spider-Man game, the Ghost of Tsushima. What else did they do? Days Gone, underrated gem.
Final Fantasy Remake was a time exclusive.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking like first party, but yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's gonna be my point for them leading to, is that this generation, they haven't really done any, it's been sequels and remakes for the most part.
Yeah.
And the stuff they have kind of come out that's new is kind of like Concord. Concord is like the only like fresh new IP, first party IP that they've put out in the PS5 generation. I mean, I guess you count Returnal. I guess everything else is a sequel. There's like Ratchet and Clank, which is a sequel, Spider-Man 2. What else? I don't really think there's anything else. Let's see.
Well, again, to go with remakes, I mean, there's the Demon Souls remake.
Yeah, Demon Souls remake. Yeah, I mean, so it's been pretty sparse in terms of that, and of course they've really broken out the wallet to get the third part. It's been a lot of Square Enix stuff and Koei Tecmo stuff. Whoever made Stellar Blade. And they've had some like de facto exclusives because they just don't want to put it on Xbox. So was Black Myth was that way.
Well, it's not that they didn't want to put it on Xbox. It's just they couldn't get it to run on Xbox.
Yeah, that was the same
issue.
That was the same with Baldur's Gate 3. They were like a de facto exclusive. And so it's that weird like failing up thing that they've done is like they had Baldur's Gate as an exclusive, like just because the Series S, which was fucking insane. But I feel like if you got the PlayStation 5 primarily for it, which is what I have it for, I have one, it's my exclusive box. I've barely turned it on. I've barely turned it on at all. Because when they do a remake, they put it on the PC. And so and that's most of what they've done. Because they've kind of shut down production on a lot of that stuff to make live service games, right? Which we'll get into, in your topic more deeply, but to kind of play into my topic a little bit, I mean, they've shut all that down. Like they've gone in and like killed most of it. Like Old Yeller did, took it out back. Yeah, took it out back. Said, I'm sorry, and then shut it down. And so there hasn't really been, so they're kind of scrambling in this weird way. Like there's no cohesion there. And then on top of that, you have some really disastrous purchases like Bungie, Bungie was go for it. Yeah, go. Well, I'll slow down.
Oh no, it's
give me some of your thoughts.
Yeah,
I'm just firing failure off.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, the whole Bungie thing, man, that was really surprising. And again, they technically own, I guess, Destiny 2 in a sense because Bungie was working on a new game. It was supposed to be, people were thinking it was gonna be Destiny 3. That's been axed. It's been axed. Yeah. And yeah, I'm surprised that they did pick up Bungie, but yeah, they've PlayStation or Sony's made a lot of questionable decisions in so many ways.
Yeah, I mean it's led. They've had like the most CEO turnover too I've ever seen in a generation.
Right?
They had the who was before Jim Ryan? Was it? It was what was his name? He went to work for Tencent, but anyway, Jim Ryan was the PS5 CEO basically, and then he left probably because of all the shit we just talked about, setting all that up. And then Herman Holst and that other guy came in, and now he recently got demoted because he threw his weight behind Concord and a million Horizon projects apparently too. And so like to kind of put a bow on this section of it, like I just like the game side of it has been very weak, I think, and not very exciting. It's not, because I mean, I think the PS3, PS4, every generation, like I'm a console guy at heart. I mean, these days I have more of a PC thing, but the console space is where you see a lot of innovation. You see a lot of like cool titles, cool like IP coming out, and I feel like Sony just haven't brought that at all. So I mean, I mean, if you mix in like third party stuff, then I mean, hey, you probably don't regret your purchase. I mean, I don't. I've gotten enough hours out of it. And the third party stuff's good. I mean, a lot of your best stuff. I mean, like you said, you got Baldur's Gate. The third party deals they've made. I mean, all the Square Enix stuff. If you're into that. But overall, I've been very, very disappointed in that aspect of it. So far. Also, let's see, what else do I have here? Oh yeah, so I mean, I kind of wanted to like I said, I don't want to go too deep on the live service stuff because that's really is the biggest thing that they're kind of dealing with right now. Is this like pivot right to the away from that stuff back to the single player stuff. And so I wanted to ask you though. I mean, did you think that they're gonna kind of pump out more sequels, or do you think they're gonna try to come up with new IP? Have you heard anything about that? Or
yeah, that's actually a really good question. I haven't heard anything in the rumor mill about like any upcoming like single player titles. Oh, except for one thing. So this is I guess I could save it for my topic, but I'm just gonna bring it up now just because of like rumors and everything. So so Blue Point, guys who made the Shadow Colossus remake and the Demon's Souls remake and everything, they were actually working on an original IP, but it was a live service IP.
Oh God! Oh no! I think I saw that. I think I saw that.
So whoopsie doodle.
Whoopsie doodle indeed.
It's gone now. So it's actually now rumored that Blue Point might be working on a Bloodborne remaster.
Yeah, that's man. Do you think there's any truth to that?
The reason why that came up is because like one, we talked about this, you know, in privately, you know, like Sony went and was like, oh, we were taking down Bloodborne mods, but the only one they took down was the 60 frames per second patch.
There was that, yeah.
It got DMCA. So Lance McDonald had to take it down.
Yeah.
But it's the internet, so you still find it, but he himself, who made it, can't host anything anymore. And so people were like, okay, that's really weird. I thought it was mostly to do with the emulation that you can do now on PC, depending on your setup and everything. But once this happened, now people are like, oh, well, they don't have that going on. They can't do that live service game anymore. They took this patch. They have to be making a Bloodborne remaster.
They have to be, right? Yeah, they have to be. They have to be. Someone in that building has to be doing Bloodborne things.
My uncle works for Nintendo. He totally knows.
Yeah, I mean, the Bloodborne thing is such a meme at this point, and I play into it because I want to leave. I'm like Mulder
everybody does.
X-Files.
Everybody.
Yeah, like I want to fucking believe, but I'm also like Scully in that I know it's not. I mean,
skeptical.
It's like when we talked about one of the past episodes, like Sony knows it would print, but there's something going on with either what they want to do with it or the rights or something, because why else would they just not do it? And hopefully they are. Hopefully in this pivot, they're like, you know what, guys, we got to break the fucking glass. We got to get Bloodborne out because it's the quickest thing we can get out that will make the most people happy. So that it's a remake. I mean, that's the thing. It's also a remake though. So, but it's the remake everyone wants.
Well, it's people are saying remaster. Don't know if it's going to be a remake.
Well, yeah, remake. Yeah.
But to be honest, I really don't think it needs to be remade, man. Like that game still looks really good when you like actually, like when it first came out, it was compressed to 720. When you blow it up to 1080p, dude, it looks really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it just needs 4K 60, you know, maybe do some HD textures, you know, just
give it some slight touches that I'd be very happy with, just a very, very minor update. That's really all it needs.
Put a little makeup on it. Dress it up.
Just gutty it up a little bit.
Yeah, just gussy it up a bit, you know, just gussy it up.
Don't make her look like a slut though. But
yeah. Make it tasteful. Make it tasteful, you know. Make it pretty, not sexy, you know. Just make it. I need to chill. It's gone too far.
Anyway,
it's gone too. What have we done?
I've gone too far.
I lived long enough to see myself become the villain. That's why, you know, hence the name.
But what I think would be funny though is that if they actually are working on a Bloodborne remaster, if that goes like to PC first, it's like, well, they actually made the Demon's Souls remake, so why don't they port that first? But I mean, not everybody wants the Demon's Souls. I get that. It's the weakest out of all of them, and it's also the first of them, but it's got problems. Yeah,
well, Sony seems to be floundering quite a bit with their game portfolio. They definitely seem to be. I mean, they've made a lot of very decisive moves to get it back on track, though. I mean, they've promoted, demoted, canceled, greenlit, fired, laid off. I mean, so they've done all the things that they need to do to. I mean, Xbox could have really benefited from some of this demoting and firing and shit of CEOs that PlayStation's been doing, but they've had the same ones the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think Phil Spencer needs to be head of Xbox anymore.
No. Well, he's not. He's the head of everything now. Sarah Bond is the head of Xbox. Yeah, he's the head of Microsoft Gaming, so he's even he's even higher now. Yeah,
just a felon upwards. Yeah. Woohoo!
Oh yeah, well that just describes, because I mean the thing you can say about Sony is they get their ship in line. I mean they let it spiral out of control for a long time, but they whereas Xbox, man. The Xbox One, they should have went in there and just cleaned house, but
yeah. Well, I mean,
they let it go. So,
but if you remember, the
E3
presentation, TV. Dude, you're talking about a console. I don't care about fucking TV.
Yeah. So I mean, at the very least, I think Sony. They are benefiting from the failure of like the other two, which I mean, Nintendo's not really failing, but they're coasting, right? Like they're just like chugging then they're not doing anything exciting right now, but they're about to be.
They're wrapping up for a new console release, which is great, and they're gonna be coming up with hopefully we'll know more about the specs here soon, and then there's gonna be like titles for that. But also, as we said plenty of times, so I always say it, Nintendo's special. They're just kind of they got their own little sector, like it's just Nintendo, so. Nintendo basically just competes with themselves for the most part, but PlayStation definitely has like won this generation over. Xbox.
Yeah, I mean they didn't just win. I mean they've
obliterated it like 5-1.
Despite like in spite of themselves, quite frankly. Because everything they've done, I think, has been subpar. I even think the console sucks. Like it's massive, it's cheap feeling, it's just ridiculous, and like. And it's just, I don't know, but hey, they're winning, and that's what matters.
They are.
And also, I've always kind of disagreed a little bit with the Switch not being a competitor to the, because you're competing for time at the end of the day.
True.
You only got so much time in the day, and but at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of people do buy a Switch to go with their PS5 or their PC or whatever. So I mean, I have everything, but
and you can only play Nintendo games on Nintendo. So that's why I said they usually just kind of compete with themselves for the most part.
Oh yeah, dude. The moment they put PlayStation like day and date on PC, I'm probably just. Well, I don't want to say that because I do love consoles. I do love kicking back on the couch and booting them up and stuff like that. But it's just I do it less and less and less these days.
Well, for me personally, like just how I had my setup. I mean, I do sit on my couch and play computer games. But yeah, no, I get that, and consoles definitely will still have their place. I feel like because not everybody's gonna have money for a computer or want to be able to build one.
For sure.
And get a lot of like pre-made machines are fucking shit, and they're not gonna have all the knowledge to know who's gonna be good to go for or not. Like, oh, I'll just get a compact. That's fine. No, you're wasting money. So it definitely they still have their place.
For sure, yeah.
But again, with like exclusivity when it comes to like all their first party games now, like again, except for Bloodborne and Demon's Souls, like I've said plenty of times, they're all going to PC now, which is pretty crazy. It's like it almost feels like, in a sense, the gaming industry is kind of like the Wild West again. It's like everybody's just gonna go everywhere. You don't know where to go, but you have all the options.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll always have consoles, like as much like, bitching and whining as I've done here. Like I'll always have them. It's just, you want them to be better. You want the things you love to be better. And I think the PlayStation, I think it's been allowed to coast. I think that the price gouging they do is very unfortunate. I mean, the PlayStation has gone up in price. Like it hasn't gone down, it's gone up in price. And then the $700 Pro, I don't give a fuck how much it is. It's not ridiculous. That console should have been $600 at the most and been done with, and then dropped the PS5 down to $4.
Yeah, but they didn't do
and
that.
Been done with it.
They rose the price. Like that was like the craziest headline I've seen in a minute. Whenever I saw it, I was like, wait, Sony's increasing the price. That's not how things usually work.
Yeah. Well,
So
I mean, it's getting to the point to where if you want decent performance and stuff on your games, you may as well get the PC because it's just as you can get a decent PC that'll outperform a PS4, PS5 Pro for $1,000. And so if you're gonna pay $700, you may as well just save up for a couple more months the $300 and get the $1,000 PC. I think. But for some people that $300 does make all the difference. I mean, that could be your entire gaming collection for the next 2 years. Or maybe you usually like PlayStation, which is fine. But it's just you need to you may price it a little better, I think if you're gonna do a console, but that's
but that's just like, I mean, the price gouging. I mean, that's just kind of the gaming industry in itself. Like the last episode where we talked about like, GTA 6 and everything going on the behind the scenes with that presentation, and there are hopes with some people like, oh, we want a $100 game so we can all charge $100 for our game. It's like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
And the same is gonna be for hardware. Like, and same thing like GPUs, like that whole fiasco, dude. Like, it's like, okay, so all the new NVIDIA cards basically went up $300 in price.
Yeah,
no one's gonna be able to buy one MRSP. You're just not gonna.
Not for a while until they a little bit. So it's definitely getting more expensive, and factors around the world are probably going to make it worse. And so I think that now more than ever, I mean, the console space is probably very, very like, appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's just, like I said, it's just easier. I have a friend who's like, he's like, I have a gaming PC or a laptop and stuff. He's like, but I just prefer a console, man. It's just easier. I'm like, I can get that. I understand that. But I don't mind. I don't mind a computer. I've been dealing with computers since I was like a teenager, so it's like not a big deal to me. But yeah, I mean, like I said, for some people, they just don't want to deal with everything when it comes to like computer learning, all the new portals and stuff. Although for the most part, they're pretty easy these days to navigate and do all you need to do. But I don't know. Like I said, consoles, they could be better. They are overpriced, I feel like.
Yeah.
And Sony has been slacking when it comes to like, other first party titles. And on top of that, like there hasn't been any real, like for the most part, a whole lot of games where I feel like, oh man, this really feels like current generation. This is next gen feel, dude. Like I haven't had that feel.
No, it's been like a marginal upgrade over the PS4. And a lot of games, even the ones that run at 60, they're fuzzy as fuck. Like you can't even like Final Fantasy 7 was Rebirth was just.
Well, what I showed from like my video in screenshots to you, that was in performance mode. So, it went for the frames.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where like they've set a weird expectation with people this generation of like 60 frames a second. When really, if you're at that budget on a console, you're probably going to get 30. Like if you want good fidelity and you don't want something running at 480p upscaled. Because I mean that's just the reality of the parts. That's just the reality of, because I mean even like the PS5 Pro isn't like that much more powerful than a PS5. It's just got the upscaling stuff.
And you have an option to buy a disc drive separate.
Yeah. Yeah. So
$700 fucking and give me a goddamn disc drive.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So I don't know. It is what it is. Like I said, it's not that I'm hating on PlayStation too much. It's just, I want it to be better, because I do have a soft spot for consoles, and I would like to keep having reasons to buy them, and those reasons keep going away like all the time. Outside of just like I like to be cozy on the couch and play, and I've not found a way to like where I feel okay setting up my PC on the couch and stuff.
Right.
But hey, as maybe one day, maybe you can give me some tips.
I mean,
when I decide to swear off consoles. So
I have basically used my computer as my entertainment center since 2011. So I've always had my computer hooked up to my TV and used it as for everything. It just makes the most sense. And then although at that time I didn't really play a whole lot with mouse and keyboard for like anything. I just played with the controller. But now how I have it set up is I have like a little corner here, and then like around the other side over here is where my TV's set up. So now I have like a desk where I can play mouse and keyboard if I want to, and I just usually play on my couch for the most part if I'm going to play with a controller.
Yeah. I've tried, like when I was my old PC back in the day, I had to browse like, what if I hooked it up to my TV? I could never get it to be because when I play a lot of strategy games and mousey stuff, and I could never find like a way. I mean, I've tried like the lap pads and things, and it's just never as comfortable as like sitting at a desk.
When it comes to mouse and keyboard, if for a game anyway, you're really not going to be able to find like a way to feel good about that, because you're not going to have the same like you're not going to have the same vibes like on like on a flat surface, and have like a nice like large mouse pad or something to get good traction with your mouse. But if you just want to like kick back and use a controller to play a game, it's definitely worth it still if you can have it set with the TV.
Yeah. I'm going to break protocol here and argue with our third co-host here in the chat, who is slandering my good name real quick.
Oh, no.
Yeah, calling me a liar for saying you can build a $1,000 PC that'll compete with a PS5 Pro. You totally can. You may have to maybe go up to 1,200, but you totally can build an AMD rig on some budget parts, especially if you go used. You can totally build a budget rig that can compete. Obviously, it may not. There'll be games that doesn't do well on game, but it'll be good enough, right?
Yep.
For sure, absolutely. I'm helping my friend build one right now, actually, and we're so far our budget is a little over $1,000, and that thing can definitely keep up with the PS5 Pro. If you want me to throw the specs to you later, I will.
I basically have a mid-range machine right here, man. It competes with the PlayStation. I don't know if it'll be for a Pro, but again, this was like $1,200 for everything. That's the case at all.
1,000 might have been a bit low, but again, the rig we've built, I mean, spec wise and real world performance wise, and when you FSR and stuff, I mean you're gonna do just fine, right? Like comparatively to the PS5 Pro. So
and I think actually the PS5 uses an AMD processor.
Yeah. It's a Ryzen 2. No, Ryzen, roughly like a Ryzen 5, not 2. I was thinking of the RDNA 2.
Okay,
yeah. Too many numbers. I'm an Intel NVIDIA snob. I don't. It's been tough. It's been tough. Yeah, it's been tough. My PC costs $5,000.
It's so hard being a villain. I got $5,000 PC.
It's been fun.
Hard life.
Yeah, no, it's been fun helping my buddy build his AMD rig like under those parameters. But yeah, so the other thing I guess with the topic, since we're getting accused of all this PlayStation hate, is
all this slander.
Some positive stuff, man. I think some of the games they've announced, I think Ty looks good. I could Yoti. I mean Yote. Okay, all right. Ghost of Yote. Yote. I'm learning Japanese actually. So.
Yeah.
Sushito kudasai. I mean sushi, please.
Oh yeah.
That's all I know. So yeah, I think that one looks cool. I think that Naughty Dog game looks interesting. That they announced the space one. Yeah, I think that. I mean, it's one of them trailers where it's too early. It's really too early to say. It looks interesting though. I'm just glad it's not Uncharted or The Last of Us.
Yeah, it's something different. And it's space. Space is always fun, at least if you're creative with it.
Yeah. So it's so I mean they have some stuff on the horizon. I don't know. They have Wolverine as well, but I mean that's still kind of Marvel-y Spider-Man stuff.
There's I don't know about that Wolverine game.
Oh, what about it? What don't you know about it?
First off, like with anyone has like any like opinion or like preconception of it is from really early leaked like alpha footage of the game that came out like leaked last year, I think, or the year before. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was last year. And it looks rough, but again, it's basically pre-alpha.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's not like anything crazy bad. It's just we've come up with a whole like virtual signaling and pandering discussion sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
There's possibly going to be some of that going on in that game again. I was like, come on, guys, just just make a fun game, please. Just do that. Just make a game. That's all I want.
Yeah, I stayed away from like the story league stuff because I do plan on playing it. So, because I love the Spider-Man game. I still haven't got to 2 yet, but I love the first one.
Yeah, I haven't played 2. The first one I enjoyed quite a bit. I started Miles Morales, but at that point when I decided to try to play it, I just wasn't in the mood, I guess, for an open world game. So
yeah,
I need to pick it back up. But yeah, I've been wanting to play 2, but I'm real sad to hear about 2 though. With Venom, you only get a little taste of
don't ruin anything. I haven't played it yet. Don't spoil fucking anything.
I'm just
leave this podcast.
Let's just put it this way. You know how like Venom
don't put it anyway. Shh.
Okay,
it's fine.
I'm just saying.
Back to Ghost of Yotei. Isn't that coming out? Isn't that coming out this year? Ghost of Yotei.
I don't know.
Let's see. I think they announced it for this year because that was the big thing. Is competing with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let me look. Ghost of Yotei release date 2025.
Oh, okay. That is coming out this year.
Yeah.
I'll probably be like on the tail end, closer to the end of the year, more likely.
You think they're gonna go against Grand Theft Auto, Sony exclusive?
Oh,
I think they're probably. I think they're waiting to see. It might be a summer thing. They're supposed to have a big. They're supposed to have a state of play. They're supposed to have a state of play
or May or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, no, that state of play is supposed to be soon. Hold on, let me look. Hold on. Sure.
Is that kind of saying February 14th, and there's DMCA or DMC remake.
Okay, cool.
That is rumored. I hope that's a thing. Because that game really needs an update.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, February 14th. It's coming up soon, Valentine's Day. So we'll see. Hopefully they because I've tried to play Ghost of Tsushima 5 times, and I get about 10 hours in each time, and I'm like, I'm good. And so I'm hoping that they show, because it's one of those games reason I've started it, because I really want to like it. But I find the world really bland and uninteresting to explore. I find the main character very bland and uninteresting. And so I just get bored with it. And so I'm hoping Yotei, they improve it, you know?
I don't know if that's going to happen because Sucker Punch decided to hire some Velgard writers.
Velgard writers.
For Yotei. Why the fuck would you want to do that?
They all got fired. Well, I mean, how long has this game been in production, though? I mean, it's coming out this year, and the writers just got fired. So I don't.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it's for DLC, because I mean,
maybe like for more like side quest stuff. I don't know. Like if I
this game would have been in development for like 6 years, like 5 years or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have to just have come on. So it's probably for like DLC stuff. I would have, because the writing is usually the first thing you do. In a game.
True.
You get the writing done, so I'd imagine we're not going to hopefully see the fruits of that like shitty choice until like some DLC, or because they may do like a little standalone thing like they did like Miles Morales and a lot of their other stuff. So I don't know, but I'm excited for that one because I really hope they make it a game I can enjoy. Unlike Ghost of Tsushima, which I found so boring. Like I tried so hard. The gameplay was fun. There's nothing to explore in the world that I found it was very static, it was very, it just wasn't very, I don't know. And they did the Ubisoft thing where it's the same, like once you see the set of 4 things there is to find and explore, it's the same. So there's like the foxes, there's the fucking, take out the outposts, and then there's like the haikus and stuff like that. And it's just after a while, it's like, man, I'm just not interested.
I feel like that's like with problems with most open world games. Like that.
And I don't play as many of those these days. Yeah. I've definitely fallen off of those these days because like Spider-Man, I think is a little different because it's a lot funner to traverse. The story's a lot better in my opinion, and stuff like that. So you just got to make it more compelling.
Yeah, or do something different. Like I'm pretty skeptical about a lot of open world games these days. Because again, I'm like, it's just gonna be the same thing usually. But I'm pretty skeptical about like pretty much all the gaming industry at this point. So
yeah. So I mean, I think they're gonna turn the ship around. I think the future will be bright for PlayStation. To
maybe.
all the to the cicada hate in the chat, I do think the future's bright. I do like PlayStation. I think they could do better, and I think that they haven't done I don't think they've done a good job this generation at all, justifying. And I think that if you're like a sole owner of a PS5, you should be a little disappointed. Demand a little better, unless you really like Final Fantasy. And then you're probably happy. I don't like Final Fantasy, so I don't give a fuck.
Right. Well, I mean, they did at least get Silver Blade, and they got Black Myth. So
yeah.
So in a lot of ways, PlayStation owners have eaten pretty well this
again,
generation.
they're all those are both like character action games. Like I don't like none of that appeals to me. Like again, it's just not. Again, maybe it's just not for me. But none of that looked good to me at all. So Wukong looked okay. Wukong looked okay, but it looked, it looked a little tech demo-y to me.
It's more than anything that like. There's more depth to it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. You should give it a try. Definitely worth a play.
I mean, if it's on a good sale, I might. Cause you said enough good things about it. Z said enough good things about it, and I do listen to the homies and their opinions. So if I have a spare block of time, and I really feel like just a good like beat 'em up. Okay, I'm breaking protocol. Z is being a fucking menace in the chat. No, I'm not talking shit about. I literally just got done saying that I would that I've changing my mind based on what y'all have said about it. Jesus Christ. Chill. Just sit back and enjoy the show, man. But at first glance, I had no interest in this game. So until like I started just hearing the stuff around it, and
I had the complete opposite reaction, man. Like I saw that first 10-minute gameplay trailer that came out, I was like, "Holy shit, this game looks really cool!"
Well, it looked like
art style and everything. I was like, "Man, that's awesome."
It's hard to describe. It looked like one of those games that like never comes out. Like it's just like
too good to be true because like this
kind
is not
of anything
like this, but it totally looks like that, which is insane.
Yeah, and so then you're like, okay, well, it did come out and it does look like that, so they didn't spend the budget on anything else, right? So it's gonna be a lot of. So that's kind of where my mind went with it, I guess.
Okay.
But I mean,
graphics got all the money. The game,
is
solid, dude. Like it's a very well made game.
Yeah, as long as it's not a Souls-like, because I can't play those unless it's from software. So
people keep on calling it that, and it's even tagged in Steam, even though Game Science has called it not a Souls-like game. It's mostly an action RPG more so than a Souls-like, even though Souls-like is an action RPG.
Yeah,
but not all action RPGs are Souls-like, so it's not a Souls-like.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's probably. I think we're gonna go into your topic pretty seamlessly here. I just want to, before we move off of it, was there any other predictions or hopes or dreams or anything you want to see from PlayStation? I mean, do you think we should just move on to the PS6 and take this one as on the chin and hope for better, or do we hope that we're going to see some greatness before the generation's over?
In all honesty, I really don't know. Like I mostly got a PS5 for the Demon's Souls remake. And that was a launch title. So I got that. I've been happy with some other things. Again, I was really happy that I got Stellar Blade. I've definitely played other games on there, but and again I played Ragnarok.
I liked Ragnarok for the most part. I mean, again, I've liked everything I've played on it. I enjoyed Forbidden West. I enjoyed Ragnarok. I enjoyed what else? Again, there's so few though. That's the issue. There's not
Yeah,
many.
not very many.
Helldiver, I
Yeah.
liked Helldivers a lot. That's the second.
Yeah, that's a real good one.
But Helldivers is probably the shining PS5 generation game. I think if there was like a bright spot, Helldivers is it, and Helldivers is a great game.
Helldivers is a bright spot for more than just like their lineup of games, but on all honesty, like going into my topic here in a moment about just live service it's a bright spot in that respect.
Yeah. Yep. And so, I think they're gonna, honestly, I think in terms of unless they blow our minds at this next state of play. I mean, the games that they have in the pipeline are what you already know about. Maybe one surprise in there, and the rest are, I mean, they're being pivoted from this live service shit. So they're probably all PS6 games. Honestly,
more likely
at this point, because you only have probably 2 years. What do you think? Like 2 years of the PS5 left. Well, until the PS6, obviously it's going to carry on. They're still going to make PS5 games. Like they still make PS4 games, but till the PS6 comes out, maybe like 2 years.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 years. So, I mean, they would just release their pro version of their console. That's kind of like the halfway mark usually for console's life cycle now, how they're doing things. So they probably got like three more years.
Yeah, and I think that it's like we said, they're still releasing like PS4 games, and I think the way the architecture works and the way porting and stuff works and stuff like that, you're gonna see, and with the Switch 2 existing, you're gonna see a lot more, way more PS5, way deep into the PS6 generation. You're not going to see much of a shift there. Kind of, people are kind of moving away from the PS4 now because I think those Jaguar processors are really, really well thin, and they and
showing their age a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. They were underpowered when they came out in 2014. So I remember Digital Foundry was like, "You put what in these?" The Jaguar mobile processors, because those are mobile processors in those things. Which, I mean, technically so are the ones in the new ones, but they're a little beefier.
Right.
So but alrighty. So I think that pretty much squares that away to kind of put a big bow on it, a big bow on it. I know we really raked it across the coals here, but it's because we want it to be better. I love consoles. I love my consoles, but just give me more reasons to turn the bitch on. Thank you.
Right.
So
give me a reason to own.
Yeah. So moving on to Kai's topic, we are going to get into the live service phenomenon, as it were. So take it away, man.
Yeah. So live service games, we all know them. We hate a lot of them.
We all know them.
We hate so many of them. And live service games have been dropping like crazy. There've been so many that have come out in the last 5 fucking years. It seems like you couldn't turn around without hearing about another live service project. Live service this, live service that, live service this. And it kind of feels like some executives might be finally waking up and be like, oh, this isn't the infinite money machine we all thought it was going to be. There's only going to be certain, successes, and not every game can be a fucking forever game. Because that's what it really boils down to. They wanted to have as much engagement, maximum engagement, and they want you to only play that game. But then you have like how Sony, I'm gonna be over here with Sony here in a minute, and other developers, they'll have like more than one live service game. So it's like, so you only want to play one game, but you have like multiple live service games, and you wonder why you're fighting against yourself and why it's not fucking working. So yeah, it's just been, it's like baffling to me, like how like hard they've been wanting to drill in live service games. And I get it. They basically want all of regular gaming to be like mobile gaming, which in all honesty, there needs to be a lot more regulation on that shit. It's the fucking Wild West out there when it comes to like microtransaction and shit. Like, it's insane. Like even in its inception, it was crazy, where you saw like so many like mobile games where it's like, oh, you want to buy our gems and stuff, and it's like, pay us $100 and you get 75 diamonds for our currency. It's like, what the fuck? How
for one of 10 currencies? Yeah,
right. And how do you get away with like that being a thing? So like, so live service is basically modeling that in an aspect. When you have like, oh, you got a battle pass and you get your FOMO. We got our seasons. And well, like we were talking about earlier with Sony, seems like Sony finally is like, oh, hey, we're fucking up because Concord came and it crashed in 2 weeks. It is the shortest living game, live service game of all time. Like any multiplayer game, it is the shortest lived multiplayer game. 2 weeks, and those servers closed.
Do you know that fact, or is it?
It has to be. Like I know for like live servers.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, it definitely is the shortest lived live service game. 2 weeks as long as it lived. Or maybe, well, you know, maybe Radical Heights. Maybe Radical Heights beats it.
I mean, the AI overview on Google Concord. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, so they're like, oh well,
That's so wild.
Yeah, they spent like $250 million on that game.
It was 400 million, right?
Yeah.
So it was almost $500 million.
Yeah. I forgot that the numbers came out and it was way more than anyone ever thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they actually did something I never thought to hear any of these executives talk about because, again, they, like I said earlier, like Warner Brothers, few months past, like, oh no, we're going to double down on our live service games, bro. What's the way we're going to go? Sony's like, yeah, no, they just axed all that shit. They're like, nope, it's done.
Get the fuck out, Jim Ryan.
That's right.
But you come to us with your wizardry and tongues you speak in live service. We do not want this.
We do not want these live services. You come in here with these, calling with and all the grandeur, selling us all the money, and we didn't get any of that money. You get out of here with that.
You snake oil selling bitch fuck.
But yeah, no, but it just to show you like what Sony had in the pipelines. Everything I'm naming here is all Sony. So,
oh damn, let's go.
So, Last of Us multiplayer live service canceled 2023. Marvel Spider-Man: The Great Web canceled unknown date 2023. There was a London studio live service game that was be a fantasy co-op canceled and the studio closed down. That happened in February 2024. There was a Twisted Metal live service game that canceled in February 2024. Then there was Concord released August 2024, offline forever, 2 weeks. 14 days. RIP.
RIP.
There was a live service game from Ben Studio. It canceled 2025 in January of this year. Don't even know what it was. Yeah. There was going to be a live service God of War game that was apparently that's what it was. That was going to be Blue Point. It got canceled this year in 2025 in January. Then there was, I don't even know, this game, Fair Games with a $sign at the end because
that one's still coming. Right?
I don't fucking know. It got announced.
No, wait. No, Fair Games got canceled.
Wait, that's still in production. It's saying. Sorry, it was just
okay. I was about to say that would be wild because that's like their big one.
Yeah, it's still in
it looks like trash, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's like heart garbage. Then there's Marathon. That was announced in 2023. It's still apparently in production. Then there was going to be a Horizon online live service game. It was wildly rumored project. It's probably canceled too. Then there was some other Blue Point project that we talked about. It's also canceled as well.
Okay.
So
that's just Sony.
Yeah. That's like 10 games. Yeah. All live service. And like I talked about earlier, they want these games to be forever games. But then you want to make 10 fucking games and you want everybody to play that one game. And then you wonder why you can't make any fucking money off of these things because you're competing with yourself. Like, how are you this dumb? Like,
it's a great question.
Like, I don't understand it. Like,
yeah,
I am not the smartest person in the world. I consider myself to be of average intelligence. I am a simple man in many ways. But even I can look at that and be like, look, dude, you're wanting to make all these live service games. And again, you want everybody to play that game and spend all that money on all these games. It's just not going to happen, especially if you're making so many to fight against each other. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And that was just Sony. So what's interesting, I think, what these things are saying, they're still in production, because there's also like a caveat with all of this as well. with all these cancellations. So some of these projects may not be completely dead. They either can come back and rework and come back with something else, or they have to repitch their idea, or it's just gone. It's
in a way that sounds like it makes Papa some more money.
Right. Yeah. Well, but at least they are having that chance with some of these projects. So like people's work didn't just completely go to waste after like so many years.
Well, I mean, if it's garbage work, it should go to waste, you know?
Oh yeah, no, it should be completely just taken to the wayside and do something else.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's people's jobs and everything like that. I mean, usually with these things, these cancellations, people get laid off. So
well,
and again, in one case, a whole studio fucking closed down. So.
Yeah. Well, the biggest issue with these live service games, it isn't even so much that they're competing directly with each other. It's that these people are already captured, a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they have their games. I mean, occasionally you have one that comes along and pills people away. And I guess that's what they're hoping for. They're like, we can be the one that's going to pill them away from Fortnite. But like, usually what happens is, if you look at the numbers, like Marvel Rivals has blown up. And it will shrink down. I mean, it'll be a good number it shrinks down to, right? A number that people can only dream of, but it's going to shrink back down. And a lot of those people are going to go back to Fortnite, you know, but even back to Overwatch in some cases. Like the game they've already sunk 5 years of their life and probably thousands of dollars into. And so you're just not going to capture these people. You're basically saying like, we want infinite amounts of your time too. And it's like, homie, they're already given infinite amounts of their time to all these other games. Yeah, money. Yeah, they have sunk cost. They have, you know, their skins bought thousands of dollars. I mean, they're just not like, they're not going to move off of it. And these games are constantly updated. They're constantly like Fortnite changes all the fucking time. Every time I get on Fortnite, I don't know what the fuck's going on because I only play once every like few months when like someone in the server invites me to do it. You know, I played with Tay early the other day, and I had no fucking idea what was happening. I was like, Godzilla. And then there was like a sword that dropped, and I went to grab it, and they're like, nah, fam, don't get that one. They get the other sword, the Tempest. So I'm like, wait, how many swords are here? Like, what? Like, you know, so it's and it's cool though. It's cool because it feels, you know, that there's a big difference in it as you go along. So I think that it's just hubris to think that you can move people off of that and just like get that big of a piece of people's time.
Yeah, it definitely feels like hubris because again, like you said, there's all these other games that have existed for so long already, and people are invested in those, like heavily invested in those. So it's gonna be hard to take them away from that. Like it has to be like a really good product and a really good game to make someone want to stay with what you just came out with. That's, you know, not been around for very long. But with canceling all of these though, makes you wonder if like, okay, maybe these execs with their brain rot fucking actually like realizing like, oh, we don't need to keep making these games because for every successful live service game, there's like 10 failures. It's like a 10-to-1 ratio, which is really bad. So
really bad.
So I'm happy that Sony did that. I hope they do better. Like you said, sounds like they're going to be finally shifting, and focusing more on single player games because like that's also like a big myth that's been going around the gaming industry for like the last 20 fucking years. It's like, oh no, nobody likes one single player games anymore. We want you to play these multiplayer games and give us all your money. Nobody likes single player. Every single year, the game of the year is a fucking single player game.
True.
So how is it nobody likes single player games, but then it's the game of the year every year is a single player game? Like that's the most insane thing to me.
Yeah, I feel like every few years we go through the whole like death of single player game like phenomenon. Even though they keep coming out, they're the biggest games all the time. I mean, yes, in sheer money and volume, these free to play games decimate.
Well, they decimate, bro. Like get that bag.
Like Genshin Impact has made probably like 5 Baldur's Gates worth of profit. You know, and it's fucking insane. And that's what they want. You know, greedy fucking corporate people. That's what they want. But at the end of the day, I mean, you got to find your niche. You need to make a product because you think people want it, not because you think you can milk money from them.
Right.
You
and
know,
not only that, like you want to make it fun. Like that's the first thing that comes to a game.
Yeah.
Make it fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I think to hammer on Marvel Rivals a little bit, and that's why that game is successful right now. Is because it's just fun, right?
Yeah.
I would never play that game ranked and take it seriously because it's so fucking because they understand they care more about engagement than competition, and so to get the engagement, they just make it fun. They make it an unbalanced mess. They don't have roll queue. Like the maps are garbage, but like it is fun. Like it reminds you of kind of the old 60 games. Like I have a lot of fun with it. But they understand that. And so, but then you have like X Defiant where they're trying to basically make it fucking Call of Duty and like esports, guys, esports, let's go. But people are like, we already have our esports. Like we've trained our whole lives to play this esport professionally. We're not about to come play fucking. Yeah, we're not, or even COD. Like we're not about to come fucking relearn, spend years relearning fucking X Defiant. You know, and so it's gonna fail. So.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Again, that's the biggest thing that's wrong with these, like every single live service game, is that it's like all about greed, and like they want to make it a money machine. Again, not a product that people actually want to play or would want to experience. There's like, we just want to make as much money off of digital shit. And then if it closes down, oh well, at least we got our money out of it. So
yeah.
Hopefully, again, that's a trend that's dying. But again, there's other developers, other persons like, yeah, no, we're gonna come out with another live service game here soon, guys. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah. We're doing that. And it's like, okay,
yeah, and I mean, it's kind of the point with me where like free to play is almost like it's a huge turnoff when I turn a game on. The moment I see that second currency, I'm checked out. Like I don't give a fuck about your second currency. I don't give a fuck about your third currency. I don't give a fuck about your fourth currency, bitch. Like it's just, and the time investment and the battle passes, and it's too much. I don't think I've ever completed. I think I may have done one Overwatch battle pass. I think that's the only one. I've bought a bunch of, and I've never completed one because it's just there's not enough time in the day. And I enjoy single player games. I enjoy RPGs. I have all kind of other games to play. And it's just ridiculous, damn. And so like when I play games, it's like Marvel. I keep going because that's the more recent one. I don't really care, but I don't do the battle pass. I don't play it ranked. I do it for fun, and I don't put anything else into it. I'll probably never spend any money. They may get me on a skin. They may, dude, Fortnite fucking got me. I hate Fortnite. Sorry. Okay. Because fucking Fortnite, every time I play that game, they get me on a fucking skin. Like when I played with Tay and Fidzy the other night, they had the Batman. They had Batman. I mean,
oh shit.
What the fuck am I supposed to do? I've said for the longest time, why is there never a fucking Batman skin? And not only that, it was a $20 bundle that came with the comic Batman, the Nolan Batman, the Lego Batman, and like all the accessories. So you got the little fucking the bat pickaxe, and you got the plane when you came. It was fucking for $20. Actually, to be honest with you, I was actually fucking kind of offended by this because for a shitty Marvel skin, you're gonna charge me $25. Fucking like one like an Iron Man skin, but Batman, you give me 4 skins for $20. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of surprised at how much you got for that $20.
Yeah, dude, me too. Batman,
fucking Batman. But let's just give another comparison. Fucking Blizzard, Diablo 4. You can buy a skin bundle for $100.
Yeah,
they're charging $100 for digital shit.
Yeah. Well, that's
how tangible value.
Yeah. I mean, that's how, I don't want to get into like the value really, because value is what people spend on it, right? And people clearly spend on it. But for me personally, it is. Like yeah, it is very overpriced for sure. People buy them though, and my stupid ass again. They got me for the Gambit skin. I had to get the Gambit skin. They got me for the Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. They got me for the Batman. They had this cool like dark wizard looking dude. And so, like, every time I get on, it's like, fuck. Although, now that I have Batman, I like to think that the collection is complete.
That's going to be your forever skin now.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, dude, I can be Batman forever until they do, like, yeah, I'm Batman. Until they have a Batman Beyond skin, and then it's like,
oh. I can understand that one. Those are really cool designs.
Oh no! Oh god, dude, they get me. They always get me. King time.
No, but oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I could rant all night. Go ahead. Just
one thing I wanted to bring up about the battle passes, like you said, you've maybe finished one. Yeah, I have bought, I want to say 3, and I've only finished one ever, and that was the Halo one whenever it first came out for Halo Infinite on the multiplayer.
I liked how they did theirs, like the forever battle passes. That was a really cool thing they tried to do.
I'm going to bring that point back here in a moment because there's something else to say about another game.
Okay.
But yeah, the only thing that sucked about all of their shit is like the way you had to do challenges and stuff where they're so fucking stupid. They were just really, really dumb challenges. Like, oh, you gotta get a double kill on this particular map. It's like, bitch, just give me something that makes sense. Like, play like so many of these matches or whatever. But no, they had to be like really specific things to make it hard.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was dog shit. Because I was all in on Halo Infinite.
I hated it.
Yeah,
I was when it first came out, man. Like I played that a lot.
Yeah, because I'm a Halo kid. I'm a Halo tournament champion from back in the day, dude. Yeah, Halo Reach, dude. I fucking don't you listen, boy. Don't you ever step to me in the arena of Halo. I will decimate you with all extreme prejudice.
Probably. I'm not the best at multiplayer games, but I did all right on Infinite.
I'm not the best at multiplayer. I'm the best at Halo. Like Halo, I'm good at. I would say like at first person shooters, if I just pick one up, I probably sit around like a pretty decent level. Like I can probably pick one up and probably do pretty well. But Halo, oh my god, dude, I could beat people like with my eyes fucking closed a lot of the time. So
yeah, I feel you. I don't have that much skill at it anymore. But
the dog.
I feel like I can always hold my own a bit when it comes to a Halo game because yeah, dude, I play a lot of Halo.
Oh, me
it's
too,
one of the very
dude.
few multiplayer games I played a lot of because I'm more of a single player person.
Yeah, me too. The battle rifle, best weapon, best gun.
I hated the BR until I learned how to play with it. I'm
dude,
like, oh
yeah, dude, the BR, it's the best. It's the best weapon in any shooter. I will fight someone on that. Like it's so good. The 3-round burst, so good.
It's a good one. But one thing I wanted to bring back though, so. One thing that would help a lot when it comes to like these live services and getting people have to like invest time and everything. And now you brought up how like Halo was trying to do like the forever battle passes. You never have to worry about like missing out on one. If developers and publishers would make a live service game more like Helldivers 2, I think it would be a lot better. In the long run for everyone. Helldivers 2 only has one premium currency, and you can get that premium currency by just playing the game. And if you want to spend extra money to get yourself a little bit shortcut to buy that premium currency, you can do that, but you don't have to. And it's pretty it's pretty good at like giving you being rewarded for all the gameplay that you do. And how they have everything set up, like going up against the factions and all of that and pushing against them, and then like once you get to a certain like milestone in a certain event and stuff, all the stuff you did during that event, you get rewarded for as well. So it's not hard to get that currency that you need to get all the stuff that you want. Now, the biggest part is going to be like, finding materials and all of that stuff. But you don't buy that. You have to play the game to get that stuff, to get your, stratagems and everything. But yeah, I feel like if more live service games were modeled after that, it'd be a lot more forgiving in a lot of ways. Because it doesn't feel like you're just completely trying to nickel and dime your audience. You made a game first, and then you built the live service around that game.
Yeah, they had their own issues with like the balancing and stuff like that. They tried again. I call this like the esports phenomenon, where it's like they feel like they have to make this like super. It was a co-op game too, but this super balanced fucking game. And it's like, bro, it's a co-op shooter. It's like not like you're fighting. Yeah, if you were fighting each other, that'd be one thing. But like, you want overpowered shit. You want broken builds. You want guys just to have fun, go in, be like, yo, I'm bringing, and just have fun doing it. You don't.
Yeah, and yell about democracy and shit. Like that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and it took them so long to like learn that lesson, and they lost like most of their community doing it. And they've clawed it back. They have clawed it back because it is a fun game, which I mean is the other side of it. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, there's all the monetization stuff you said, but I mean, they had a genuinely fun game with a cool ass theme, and that's really what I think carried it a lot. A lot of the games they just like, it's like that fucking Foam Stars game, dude. It's like
right, dude,
yeah,
that's another game that just like popped up and died. That was all within last year,
dude. I just like every so often I'll just be going about my day, just making artisanal coffees and such, and I'll just be reminded just randomly that Foam Stars existed, and I'm just like, the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck was that? Like, you're fucking like going around spreading. It's this what's that game? Splatoon, like a Splatoon fucking ripoff, but like, infinitely worse. And they thought like a bunch of dudes in suits in nice $5,000 suits sat around a table, saw this, and was like, "Gentlemen, we got one," And it's like, and here we are, fucking Foam Stars, and. I mean, it did better than anyone thought it would, but it did die. It did die eventually.
Very quickly.
It did better than Concord.
It didn't die as fast as Concord, but it didn't last. It didn't last a year.
Yeah. The thing about Foam Stars, though, is like I genuinely would like a Splatoon ripoff because it's stuck on the Switch. I like Splatoon. I think Splatoon is fun.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, it's just stuck on the Switch, and they took it, and it was such an easy dub. If you just made a competent, decent looking Splatoon clone, I think we'd be having but they made Foam Stars.
Foam
Stars.
You want to spray that foam everywhere.
That foam, man. Yeah, it's just like, what are we doing? Like at this point, you're just and like, is the definition of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. So
yeah, there was another game. It was like a racing game. I feel like that had like Fortnite.
Was it that Ubisoft one? Oh no,
I don't remember who made it, but that was like kind of like a live service game, and it just I don't even know what the name was, but it's gone now too. Didn't live like so. Again, that's all we've talked about in this whole section. It's like, hey, a live service game. Oh, that one shut down, or it's going to be shutting down. What sparked me about this conversation was Multiverses is shutting down. I actually thought Multiverses was doing pretty good.
No,
it's doing poorly.
No.
They stuck $100 million into that game, and they haven't made any of it back, or they haven't made like all of it back, I should say.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that they actually did like a beta test essentially for like 3 months.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Well,
which was really cool.
Well, it was a launch, but they needed to fix it. Did they really mean for it to be a beta? Because I got the impression it was bad, and like, oh shit, let's pull that back and call it a beta and bring it back.
No, it was
but
always meant to be like a
okay,
test
all right,
and
fair
a beta
enough.
test. They like when you first brought it up, they even told you like, yeah, this is going to be a work in progress. We're just trying to test stuff.
Yeah, they all like Fortnite was in beta for like 30 years though. So like I never believed them. Like I never believed them because again, Fortnite used to say beta literally 3 years. It was the largest game in the world beta.
They said beta, yeah.
Yeah. Because their primary game was Save the World. Like they still counted Save the World as like their primary game mode.
Yeah, at that point, but not anymore. Like that game.
Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't exist anymore. Like they're like, well, don't eat it. We got Fortnite, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just. I hope that this is fad for execs is finally dying. Again, I forgot who you said earlier because my brain is old and I'm tired about someone else coming out with another live service game. And it's like, really? Do not just see, not see what happened over the last.
Yeah, well, I think it's just the gamble. Right? They see the money the money's on the table, and they think you can just break through because the things that break through are so fucking random. And it's like, well, if we can just. Because, I mean, these live service games, a lot of them, well, nowadays they're costing more, but a lot of the earlier ones, they really didn't seem like so much to make. They comparatively to like a single player game, it's like the risk reward situation. Because you saw like a lot of, we talked about this a little bit last time on the last episode, but the ballooning budgets of single player games. And that's not even like it's an even smaller chance that it's going to take off and get that money back. So, I don't know. It's just gambling, really. At the end of the day, it's a bunch of people with money just gambling and hoping that they can like capture just like a little, like enough of the pie to get that just forever game or like 10-year game or whatever. Even 3 year, even like I don't even think they care if it's 3 years, just enough to get them wells in and just flood them with some money. I don't even think they care if it's forever.
Yeah, that's all they want. They only care about the short term.
Yeah,
and in all honesty, that's just how all companies are right now. In a lot of ways, they're all about short term. They don't want to worry about anything for long term. And the gaming industry has been very brazen about that. In so many ways. Again, like it always feels like they're just trying to squeeze as much money out of their customers as they possibly can. Yeah. And it's just like, dude, just let me buy a game. I'll support you, and if I like it, and I like you, I'll keep buying your games. Get customer trust again. Do that before you say like, give me all your money. Like, because there are very few companies right now that are got the forever trust with me. Like, From Software is probably the only developer that really has the forever trust. Maybe Shift Up.
Larian, boy. Larian.
Okay, Larian. Fair enough.
Because
they make good games too.
Fantastic games. They make perfect games. Perfect.
Fix your sentence. Games you've ever seen.
Yeah, they make the best games. They make the best games. The best games you've ever seen. The biggest, most perfect, beautiful games. Best games.
It's so beautiful that it's wrapped up in National Package.
You have the biggest hands, sir. The biggest hands.
I got the biggest hands. You get out of the camera doesn't look at those things.
All right.
We're gonna stop that. Sorry.
There we go. All right. Reset. All right. But yeah, I mean, my biggest thing too is like, it's just the time investment. My thing, I don't care if you do a free to play and have a full of shit I can buy a la carte, but don't fucking do battle passes, time shit. Like, let me just buy what I want. That's how Fortnite gets me. They just let me buy what I want. Like, all the good shit is in the store and I can just buy it. And I've got, I don't mind getting the wallet out for that, but it's the time investment stuff that I just fucking hate.
Right. And just because we keep on bringing up Fortnite, and this has really nothing to do with like the conversation at large, I just want to say this is a really odd thing because most of the people that play Fortnite won't even know what this is, but they have they live promotion going on right now. They live. Hardly anyone knows about that sci-fi movie from like 30 fucking years ago.
Amen.
And for most people, if you don't know, most of Duke Nukem's lines that came from Duke Nukem 3D were actually from They Live.
Didn't they have like some X-Files skins? I feel like not a lot of people really care about the X-Files these days. I like the X-Files a lot, but
I like the original. The reboot didn't do too well, unfortunately.
They have a lot of just random shit. I mean, it's pretty wild.
Dude, it's just everything. It's like I got Marvel, you got anime, you got fucking.
I mean, you have like
years ago.
Yeah, I mean, you have like fucking Bill Cosby. Like, it's fucking just what? It's a fucking nightmare. It's a nightmare fever dream.
I don't want Bill Cosby anywhere near that game, dude.
He's running around like Rudy. It's fucking.
Let me get you a cappuccino.
Hey, now, don't bring my artisanal coffees into this.
I made it myself. It's a French pour over a French press. I did it myself.
A little special sauce in there. Okay, we need to move off. We need to move off the Bill Cosby.
Yeah, we gotta get. That's a dark road. Let's get away from that.
It's darker than the roasts that I make in my artisanal coffee.
It's darker than my darkest black coffee. It's pretty dark.
And I have Deathwish coffee, and it don't get no more dark.
It get darker than that. Fucking Bill Cosby.
Oh man! All right, all right. We need to reset again. Double reset. We've gotten out of hand. Whew. All right. Anyway, live service games.
But yeah, man. But that's really all I wanted to touch on, except for like there's other games too, like just from last year. So again, Multiverses, that's shutting down in May this year. X Defiant, we touched that. It's shutting down in June. Suicide Squad, Kill a Justice League. It might as well be fucking shut down. Like you talked about. We talked about that. No one really plays it, but they still have. They're obligated.
They've done their final. Well, they've done their final season, and they completely in their final. The ending. I didn't want to spoil it for anyone in the chat who may one day unfortunately torture themselves by playing it. But like they completely like undid how ended apparently and pissed it. The few fans it had, they pissed off. It's like, how do you piss off like someone who is still angrier? Yeah, someone who is still playing Suicide Kill the Justice League is such an ardent fan that it would take a lot to piss them off, and they somehow fucking did it. Wow. So, I mean, that's I mean it's. Yeah, it's this bullshit. Let me ask you though: what are the live service games that have captured you throughout the years? Like the good ones, the good ones.
Hardly any. Like
he said none.
I'm not much of a multiplayer thing. Like I'll play games with friends and stuff. But I mostly just rather play a game by myself. I like single player games because I don't know. I've always been that way. I'm a loner. But the few or live service games that I have actually played for a bit, like I would play on my own or with friends. I played Warzone for a little bit. I played oddly enough, I didn't play Red Dead Redemption 2, but I played Red Dead Online. I played online with a friend for a little bit.
Yeah.
The only other one would be Halo Infinite.
Helldivers.
Or Helldivers. Yeah, Helldivers too. Yeah. I do like that game. So 4. There've been 4.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are really good.
And 2 of them are really good. Yeah, for me, it was probably Warframe was like the first like big one. Like Warframe was an addiction. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. I would be around my house, not making artisanal coffees because I hadn't gone down that arc in my life yet, but just doing stuff. It could be dishes, it could be reading, it could be playing another video game, and I would see my friends get online Warframe, and I was doing like it didn't matter what the fuck I was doing, and I would go play Warframe. Yeah, I'd go hop on. Yeah, because I couldn't stand. Like my brain was like, they're gonna be grinding without me. And
you're gonna get ahead of me.
Yeah,
you're gonna have drip.
Yeah, exactly. The drip. Yeah, I mean, Warframe is nothing. It's like drip the game because that's all you're grinding for is more drip, and it's functional drip though. It comes with abilities and stuff.
Maximum drip.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But yeah. So there's Warframe. I guess if you count GTA Online, I played the fuck out of that for a while. Funnily enough, I played Red Dead 2 for a day and said, nope, good with that. The online. The online, not the Red Dead 2 is phenomenal, but the online, yeah.
It was bare bones.
Yeah. Overwatch, played the fuck out of Overwatch back in the day.
I want to consider that a live service game. I guess it kind of is.
Well, yeah, I mean, even the $40 version was like the Overwatch 1 was kind of kind of was. I mean, they had updates and it wasn't set up like a modern live service game. It was like,
I guess that was kind of olden.
Yeah, it was in olden times, like with loot boxes and such.
Oh man, it's sad that people miss loot boxes.
Dude, I was just about to say people miss loot. That's how bad shit is now. People are like, yo, give me them predatory loot boxes, man. Let me get.
I just have the chance game again.
Let me get Dim's loot boxes. Let me. Yeah, it's hilarious that people want that back. But yeah, so I played the fuck out of that. I guess if you count Halo, I played the fuck out of that. And then, the Fortnite dabbling I do from time to time. People drag me into it. So I guess, yeah, there's like, and Helldivers. That's probably my list. That's probably my list of the good ones. I think Warframe's really good. I can't allow myself to play it. I literally had to stop myself. It's the same reason that I never tried EVE on. Be sucked into it, and I wouldn't have a job. I would never touch a woman. Like there would just be, I would be in space. I would have a space job. Like I would be like a space like trucker or something, like a coal miner, and like
pretty much what you
working my way up to being the president. So
I knew someone. that played so much Eve and were into that game that they would play enough to get enough credits to play it like monthly through like in-game currency.
Yeah, I knew WoW players like that. Yeah, well, you could do that in WoW with the gold. Yeah, Eve players too. Yeah, I saw what Eve was, and I said, nope,
can't do that.
That's a villain ass villain like life sink. Because all the weird all the stories that used to come out of Eve of like the $1 million ship battles and like the betrayals and the council. They have a council meeting in Iceland. They used to. Like in real life, like the leaders in the game come together and have a summit. I'm like, man, I kind of want to live a space life, but I couldn't. I couldn't allow myself because I had real life ambitions, and there's certain games like I just can't allow myself to play,
right?
Because I just won't. I won't stop. I just won't stop. Warframe's one of those as well. So
really random thing, just because we brought up Eve. There's a really awesome documentary by the guy who does the series Down the Rabbit Hole, Steve Knudsen, I think his name is. If you haven't watched any of his stuff, he has really interesting things, but he did a documentary on Eve about like this whole like espionage corporate takeover of the end game.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Well, I don't think I saw the thing. I read like the write-up on it though. Like where they like it was this multi-year war and like they infiltrated he like lived on the base like months and months and gained their trust and then like just let the shields down like in the last minute and like
and then this huge war ensued for like 23 hours.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Dude, I hear that shit and it boils my blood.
Yeah, it's like I want to go be part of that space world.
Dude, I want to be part of that. To like be like the head of the fleet, like let's go, like
yeah, but
I just
there's
can't.
a really
I can't. If I ever get rich, like Z says, I'm rich. I'm not rich. Listen, if I was rich, I would be at home playing Eve Online. I wouldn't be on this podcast because I'd be playing Eve Online. So, well, probably not anymore. Like, I don't know if Eve is popping like it was.
It still has its following, but like that was like we were just talking about that was
age.
peak.
Yeah, peak.
Peak
yeah,
Eve.
It probably wouldn't be. Yeah, it probably wouldn't be too great now. But back in the day.
But that documentary, it's a serious one, man. It's 5 hours long.
I may check that out.
There's that much information. It's like a really long podcast. But it also with his work, I don't really suggest a whole lot of YouTubers just because I'm kind of like in my own little YouTube world. But that guy though,
he's like, I'm not gonna be suggesting no competition.
That's not necessarily competition. Just everybody
ain't nobody competition to me.
That's right. I'm the best out there, bitch. But no, Steve Knudsen, Down the Rabbit Hole, a lot of really cool stories he's done over the years. There's actually a really insane story called like the Final Fantasy VII house. Like I know I'm going off completely other things, but check it out. It's really cool. But anyway, but yeah, like when it comes to live service stuff though, here with our topic, last two ones I really wanted to point, or last three I really wanted to point out. There was Redfall, Arcane.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
That died real quick. I mean, the servers are still technically up, but no one plays it. No one plays it. It's a maintenance mode forever now.
Let's pause on that real quick. Arcane was one of the golden children. Like I fucking love Arcane games. And then like Deathloop came out, and I did not understand the hype for that one. And then Redfall. I mean, Deathloop seemed like a competent game, and I played it a little. I got about 5 hours into it, and I was like, I don't like whatever this is. I don't understand all the 10 out of 10 game of the year shit for it, but whatever. And then Redfall was so sad because like Dishonored 1 and 2 are so fucking good.
Right.
Man. Anyway.
Yeah. So
I just have to say
my
piece on
Fall
Arcane.
of Grace. Yeah, I feel you, man. A lot of people are feeling that too. Then there was the day before, which that was a total scam.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that was. Like, was that supposed to be a live service game?
This was like a multiplayer online zombie apocalypse, like live
I forgot,
service
man.
game.
You are shaking loose these memories today, man. Like,
There's a lot of stuff, dude. Because it's moving so fast. That's just a really funny story. fun fact too, like the Fantastic, like that developer that scammed everybody, they're trying to come out and like rebrand themselves and like try to make another game and stuff. They're calling themselves like Fantastic 2.0. It's like, oh god, like just dude, you guys, you had your thing, you failed, just go away. Nobody's gonna trust you ever again.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, there was that, and then there's this game I've never heard. I don't even know who the developer is. It's called Synced. Synced. Yeah, like you're syncing something, but past tense. Synced.
I think it's sunk, right? You can't synced.
So that's what's called.
Synced. Let me look. It's shut down, right? Okay, so I need to go to Google.
Dead.
Okay, let me look this up. Synced game. Oh, like synced up, like SY. Okay, I thought you were talking about.
Or like syncing. No, sorry.
Yeah, syncing. Okay, I thought you meant like yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes. Is it synced off planet? Is that what you said? Or is it just synced? Because there's a synced off planet here. Okay, let's look at this.
I never even heard of this game, and I saw it. I was like, what the fuck?
Futuristic free-to-play co-op shooter developed by It looks like. Oh, it's a Tencent game, Level Infinite. Oh, this is a Warframe clone, yeah.
Oh, but yeah, it didn't live very long. It closed last year.
It looks a lot like, what was that big one that people were really digging for about 10 minutes and it fell off? It came out, is it late last year? It looks a lot like that game. What is that fucking game called?
I don't know.
It's very, you know.
So I said First Descendant? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. First Descendant. Yep, that game. That game kind of felt like they were there for the ladies.
That game is hemorrhaging players. It's still around. It's still live. But it has its issues just because there's just not like enough content for people to do.
Yeah, well, it's just another one of those games. You know,
Gooner game. Yeah,
Gooner. You know, Warframe. Yeah, 7,000. Yeah, it peaked at 260. It peaked at 264,000. It's down to
7,000. I mean, that's still a lot more than some other games, but fuck, that's a huge.
Oh, that's Nexon. Isn't Nexon the ones that made Marvel Rival? No, who makes Marvel?
Nexon's
Rivals?
made a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, who makes Marvel Rivals? Marvel Rivals.
That's a Chinese company. Nexon's Korean.
So is Nexon. Oh, okay. NetEase, okay. NetEase, close enough. Okay. Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, I think they did make that mobile Diablo. You guys don't have phones? Which also made like $1 bajillion. Like, as much as people hated on that game made a bajillion.
So much money. Way too much money.
Yeah.
It was way more successful than it needed it to be.
Do we count Diablo 4 as a live service game? Because if so, I did play a fair bit of Diablo 4 and 3. So I don't know.
The way they're running it right now, sure, you can count it as a live service game. That people are jumping off that game too. Like, it's had a huge drop off in player count, but that's just because of other issues they have. Again, $100 skins. They make sure you can pay $100 for that skin, but you can't make a fun fucking game.
I don't know, like buying. See. Diablo, buying skins in a game like Diablo, where like the whole point of the game is to get loot and things that look cool and do cool things, always seems so pointless to me. And
they even have a vanity system in it too.
And in Diablo 4 specifically, you can't even really see your character that well. They have a specific zoom in button that just goes one zoom in and one zoom out. Good mouse zoom, just so you can look at your character skin. And it's so dumb. I don't know why you would ever. And I think they're probably struggling with that too, because I think most people kind of probably feel that way. It's like, I mean, isn't the point of this game to get cool looking shit? I mean, that's for me. I mean, yes. I mean, there's like stats and stuff too, but I mean, we're all here for the fashion.
Yeah.
Me and a lot of people I know will forego stats for some shit that looks cool, you know, and.
Yeah, I'll do that a lot of times, depending on what's going on. I was like, man, I just like how I don't care if I have better sets with other things. That looks stupid.
Yeah, exactly. In The Witcher, I fucking rocked like the very first Witcher armor you get for like half the game until I found something I liked better.
Yeah, so I feel like, dude, a lot of the armor looked fucking stupid.
Yeah, the Gambisons, the Gambisons. It's like, I'm not gonna, man. My boy, My boy Geralt is not going to be rocking a goddamn Gambus on. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, it made him look fat. It made him look like he had a beer belly. It's like, the fuck is this shit, man? I can't show up to fucking Yennefer's house looking like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I had to wait till I could get, like, the bear armor. The bear armor was, in my opinion, the best looking. Like, the trench coat looking one. Man, so good. I just wish you could dye it. Because it was, like, an ugly green color. But, yeah.
Well, but as for live service games, man, like hopefully it's finally going away. Like, I'm not saying they can't be made. I just hope it's not the one thing that a lot of developers want to focus on anymore. Because like it's not gonna give you like, I forgot about Marvel's Avengers. That game launched and died real fast too.
Oh yeah.
Like, so there's just so many, and with a lot of really big IPs. But again, that's not going to save it if it's not a fun game and that's what it comes down to. Like,
it's got to be a game people want to play.
Build a game first, and then the service around it, not the service then the game.
Yeah, and you're never and don't come out the gate being like, oh, we're gonna be esports. And I think it's so presumptuous that when you have a fucking beta, you have a fucking battle pass and shit. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like you're putting the cart before the horse. Like big fucking time, fucking time. Like just make the fucking game,
Well, they have it in their head that they just can't fail. They're too big to fail. They can't fail. They can't ever fail.
Oh, they gonna fail. Fail.
Dude, there's probably gonna be a crash with this industry. Like I went on a bigger rant last episode about all of that. But there's gonna if they continue on doing what they're doing now, it's unsustainable. It just can't keep working the way it is right now.
Yeah, I think the good news on all that is that I think the industry's big enough to where like the whole industry's not going to crash, but a section of it will.
It'll be able to rebound.
Yeah, it'll be segmented. So like certain things. So like, like the studios that have been rising are going to keep rising, and then a lot of this kind of almost want to call it like the old guard because it really is like it's a lot of these older companies, the EAs and stuff like that, like older developers and stuff, really trying to like chase like Ubisoft, like. I mean, we've gone on enough about Ubisoft, but just chasing it. Chasing it.
Yeah, we actually didn't talk about that in our rapid news, man. Like,
no,
that could be like possibly another topic whenever it releases, because Assassin's Creed Shadows, bro, man, problems.
I feel like that's got to be your topic. You got to the sequel. You got to bring it. I'd feel right about that being.
It's going to be another topic whenever it gets released. I don't know if I'll play it personally.
Oh, I'm not playing it. I'm not touching it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it comes out and gets 10s. I don't give a like. Ass Creed is dead to me now. Like I just don't care. I just can't be bothered with it. It's just. I mean, it's just I have no interest. I mean, honestly, I don't really have an interest in a game series that's longer than like fucking 4 games or something. Like when it gets past like 17 games or some crazy shit, I just don't give a fuck. It's just too much. It's too fucking much.
Final Fantasy's almost there. They're up to 16.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other reason why I don't like. But those are at least
you're
like
not really a Final Fantasy fan anyway. But I'm just saying, like that's
yeah. But I mean, they're at least self-contained, right? Like because it's like Persona. I would play Persona games till the end of time, but they're all self-contained. So I could play Persona 16 and be fine. Fortunately, they're not that high yet.
Right.
So, but the Ubisoft games, like they've tried to detach them, but they're all kind of loosely connected. But they're also all the fucking same. So at least with as much as I shat on Final Fantasy last time, I'll say this: at least they all kind of seem different. Like they all they sit down, they treat it almost like a new project. They're not like, oh, let's just make the last thing again. And it's gonna piss some people off, but at least they try.
That's basically kind of like all like what was made Final Fantasy is that every game had a new battle system, and they try to make it different and a different story and different cast members or different set of party members and all that. So,
I can respect that.
That's kind of like been their thing. Now they don't even know how to make a fucking action RPG. They're so confused on how to make that stuff.
Yeah. 16 was just so unfinished. It was unfinished. I'll stand by that against all the haters.
I still have to experience it myself to have an opinion. But
yeah, I would recommend just mainlining it. Like when you play it, that's my recommendation. Is just mainline the fuck out of it. The side quests all suck. They all fucking suck. Don't explore. If you see something bright in the distance, don't go for it.
Don't go to that light.
It's a fucking dude. It'll be. Listen, there'll be. I remember one in particular. It's when you enter the second region you go to. It's to the left. There's like a fortress in the distance, and you see a bright light, like it's a little item on the ground. And there's this big ass like mini boss enemy in front of it, and your brain, your lizard brain, your fucking subconscious says to you, yo, there's something good behind that motherfucker. I need to go kill that motherfucker. So you go over there, you fight him. This is prolonged mini boss fight. It's a fucking potion.
Oh hell yeah! I was actually gonna say it's a material or something.
No. There are no crafting materials. It's a potion. It's
awesome.
It's a dude, and that's all of it.
There's no good.
Yeah, it's just a potion.
Awesome.
Yeah, just like a 20 HP healing fucking. Yeah, and that's all the loot. There's nothing good in the game.
For spending 20 minutes fighting this beast.
Yeah, well, because your upgrade path, like your sword, is just a thing you go upgrade the damage on periodically. So like, not to spoil anything, but you'll get to certain parts in the game and you can upgrade your sword, and that's it.
Okay.
And there's no armor. There's no like. I mean, like, it's very bare bones. It feels very unfinished.
That's disappointing to hear.
Very much so. And there's no elemental damage, so really you just get on like a damage. You pick the abilities you kind of like using, and you just like rotate it like an MMO. So like you just have like your damage rotation on your cooldown rotations in your combat. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, yeah. So it's this weird combination of action combat that feels like World of Warcraft combat, because you're basically on a cooldown rotation,
right,
the whole time. And so you're just cycling damage. There's no real strategy, and dodging. So you're dodging, doing cooldown rotations, and then
awesome. Yeah. Sounds well in depth.
Yeah, so I recommend when you do play it, just mainline. It's none of the side quests are any kind of interesting. I hear some of the late game ones got better. I was so fucking done with them, and I'm a fucking complete dude. I'm the kind of guy in RPG. To everyone, I read all the books. I collect all the books. I read all of it, and then this one I gave up. This is so fucking useless.
I gotcha. Hopefully my experience won't be that dire, but from what you're saying, it might be.
Yeah, I mean, if you go in with the right expectations, you enjoy. I mean, overall, I mean, the story is fine. It's fine. It's your typical anime fare. You know. I mean, surprise, surprise, you end up fighting God, of course.
Oh, man, you fight God in a Final Fantasy game? That's insane.
Yeah.
I never would have thought.
It keeps escalating where you're just like, how did this happen? How did we get here? So,
gotcha.
But yeah, so I don't know. Was there anything else on the live service stuff, or?
Oh no, that's pretty much all I got for it. Hopefully this is, gonna die out. Again, I'm not saying live services can't exist, but hopefully developers and publishers will notice, like, okay, you can make them different, and let's just do better. Just do better. I just want the gaming industry to do better.
Yeah, and I think I think market. To kind of my final thoughts. I mean, I think you lose enough money. You either change it up or get the fuck out of the business, and you'll see some companies burn and crash. And I think you will see that kind of old guard portion of it, like we've been saying, Z's been saying in the chat too. It's going to crash and burn, and a huge sector is, but again, it's big enough to where I think that's going to help the ones that we do like rise up. They're going to get more popular, get bigger budgets, and then they will become the villain. And we'll start. And in 10 years, we're going to be on this podcast talking about, man, you remember From Software? You remember when they used to
be cool?
Yeah, man, they made that live service Elden Ring 8, and they just, ever since Miyazaki went off and made his own studio, it ain't been the same. It's not even the same From Software, since EA bought them,
not there anymore.
And so it's a cycle, and I think it'll do its cycle thing. But hey. Play the good shit. I mean, that's where I've gotten to with my time. I'm very particular about my time. If I play a game for 2 hours and I don't like it at all, I'm putting it down.
Yeah, I usually give a 2 to 3 hour.
None of this like just playing it for 10 hours, Josh, 50 hours, and it's like it's just Yeah, it's just no, absolutely fucking not. So, you know, it's all good. But okay, well, I think that's it for the topics. I mean, any final thoughts on like the Sony stuff? I mean, like I tried to tell the chat, like we don't hate Sony. We don't hate Sony. I like Sony. I like PlayStation. I like, I like Xbox. I like Nintendo. I just want them to do better, right? I feel like Sony is suffering from being the only king in the castle, and they have no competition, and so they're free to sit back and do backpedaled. Fuck off, Z. Like,
I never said
we can't ever win. We can't ever win. We can't ever win.
Don't get me started, but I don't hate Sony. Again, I don't really hate Xbox. I don't really hate Nintendo. Again, like I just said a moment ago, I just want the industry to do better. And as of right now, Sony's going to get into hopefully not a complacency rut, because when it comes to the consoles, they're pretty much on top right now. So
yeah. So all right, well, kind of move things to wrapping up here. What you going to be up to? Getting over the next 2 weeks between now and the show.
Hopefully, finally be done with my project.
I fucking hope so. I hope so. You're lowering your voice. You're using your inside voice. Impatience.
I feel like I'm just George R.R. Martin at this point.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. It's coming. It's coming. It's gonna be so great.
Yes.
You're not gonna believe how good it is. It's gonna be so great. It's coming. Okay.
Yeah, and now he's all like, you know what, guys? Maybe I won't finish it. And people are like, oh my fucking God.
I just need to finish it so I can move on with my life. And I have other products I do want to do. So I just need to finish it finally.
Yeah.
And hopefully I do that this weekend.
Dude, I need the comment section. I need it in my life.
I need to hear and see that hatred. I need it to brighten my day.
Yeah. So, I mean, and as for me, like I said, keep at the coffees. I'll update everyone on my fine brewed artisanal coffees on the next episode. I'm gonna be hopefully getting to deep dive into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'd really like to do on the next episode a little bit more. It was almost like a little discussion, since it's a newer game, and I don't know, maybe not take up a whole topic, but maybe carve out a little bit more time to talk about it. And hell, I mean, I don't know, become a YouTuber and do a fucking review about it. Who the fuck knows, at this point. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, that's going to be that, just work life and all that good stuff. So,
gotcha.
All right. Well, where can the people find you? If they were to look you up, if they were to try to find you, stalk you a little bit.
Yeah, if you want to, there's not much to stalk, but usual places you can find me at Kanetsu, YouTube, the Twitters, the whatever. Nice. It's all the same. Any social media you can think of, you'll find me at Kanetsu.
Okay, yeah, and I am the True Villain on X or Twitch, however, whatever you call it, and True Villain on Twitch. No, I said X or Twitch. X or Twitter. Jesus Christ, I get them mixed up. Yeah. So, once again, I want to thank everyone for coming by and watching us shoot the shit and, make crazy voices and shout at the camera. And I feel like we got a little animated. I feel like we really, really let it loose.
Yeah.
But, like we said, every episode, like it wouldn't be a podcast. It would just be us in a room by ourselves, being sad and talking. So we appreciate everyone who came out, everyone in the chat, even the ones who hated on us, Cicada. And we'll see you next week or in 2 weeks. So
2 weeks.
Peace out.
All right. Later, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Spotemgang, we rollin' deep, digital streets, gifted subs, bitch, raining heavy like beast. Got that Twitch game locked, homies reaching elite. Shout out.